So now he's branching off. But every girl that went through Zeus, they had to go through Ray J. Ray J is like the gatekeeper of the pussy. You gotta like. That's why if you watch him on Love and Hip Hop, they hate him because he's not like. I grew up like, oh my God, Ray J, that's Brandy's brother. Then when I realized who he was, I was like, yo, God spared me because I swear he was gonna be my husband. This guy's a dirtbag. Like he's the one. That's why like they have like 3 sex tapes of Kim Kardashian and Ray J because it was all planned. And he brought it to the mom. He said, okay, yeah, we're gonna go sell it for this amount of money. He's just mad that he got cut out of the deal. They went and said, fuck this shit. We can make the money without you. Flip it. We're white. We could act like, oh my God, like Ray J took advantage. But if that was a black girl, he would have got his money. Her name would have been fucked up, and he would have just kept doing what he's doing.
Who has the golded P tape, S tape, out of all the celebrities? Who has the best one?
Well, I only seen a little bit of them. I never seen a lot of them. I seen.
This guy's such a liar.
No. I seen like.
Didn't Little Kim have one?
No.
I swear she did. I never saw it, but I remember.
Eve and Stevie J.
Oh shit.
I never seen that.
I can see that being intense. I can believe that.
Yeah.
I can believe they're matching energies.
No homo, but I heard this piece is massive.
Whoa!
No
No, you don't see
pause.
all that. You just see him with a toy, I believe. He just had a toy and
Yeah,
they
because
were,
Eve was
like,
a stripper too, so I'm sure
finding
she
her
knew
with it.
a couple moves.
Shout out Eve. You know, I'm seeing her life switch up now. Yeah.
What? I heard she got caught up in the Diddy shit. Praying for her. Yeah, her name was on the list.
Her name's on the list? Rumor, that's gossip though. You should be our gossip.
It's on the list.
Gossip person. I don't believe that.
That's cap.
I researched
Who else is
everything.
on the list?
But it makes sense if she
Kevin
was fucking
Hart.
with Stevie J. Who?
Kevin Hart. And notice Kevin Hart just apologized to Cat Williams. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because he
Yeah,
knows
I don't know
like,
why
your time
it
is
came
coming.
at
Yeah.
this and that and the
Yeah.
third.
Like,
Trying
your
to
time
defend
is coming,
Tiffany
nigga.
and blah, blah,
He
blah.
knows. All of them are on that list. Like,
So this is like
Who
a.
else? I want some more names before she continues. What else names?
Busta.
I
Like,
believe that.
Busta and Split Star, they've been in a relationship from time. Like, I remember hearing about this. Like, I had a friend who was an intern, like 10, 15 years ago, and I'm like, now, to me, nothing is surprising. I'm like, y'all are like so late to the party, bro. I'm on to different shit, guy. The world is flat.
This is like I thought. Well,
Break
it
your
is-
neck. Come on, that's what that means, eh? That's what that song's about, eh?
Oh no!
Break your neck.
I don't want
Like,
to.
Bang your head when you
No,
start
but
to break
listen
your
to the
neck.
way that Busta talks about Spliff Star. Like, yo, anytime I call Spliff Star, he picks up the phone. That's your gal, Bridget. Like,
Yo, this guy doesn't want no smoke with Busta. Okay,
No.
he doesn't want.
my
Who,
cousin
me?
is a
That's what
security
you said
guard, so
last
I-
week.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I don't want, because I said Lil Wayne's album's gonna be as trash as Busta. He's like, I don't want no smoke with Busta. You remember?
No, you can't deny like Busta.
I don't remember saying that,
Busta's
but-
that nigga in terms of music, but like
Is he?
I've always
Hold on. Name me a classic Busta line.
I
or
don't
verse.
know what he says. I just know the rhythms are fire and the melody flows. It was recently when I took it in, I'm like, all this time he's been doing dancehall on hip hop beats, and that's why I never understood him because I never realized he was Jamaican until like the past like maybe 5-6 years. I'm like all the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like that's like some cartel flow. But he was doing it on hip hop. He was ahead of his time. But
Definitely is ahead of his
he's
time.
definitely doing head on his downtime.
That's crazy.
Is there any Canadians on that list?
No, I mean they keep trying to infiltrate Drake.
The boy's definitely not on that Diddy
Drake
list.
is the fucking cover up because they don't want Canadians in the music industry. Like all of that distraction, that not like us. They should have made that song for fucking Puffy. Like that Kendrick to me is an industry plant. I don't care what nobody says. That guy's a plant. If you want to talk about anything, my opinion on Kendrick, because I never heard his voice until Euphoria, and I thought it was a joke. I was like, why? And then I realized he was mocking our accent. which is
Hold on, you
terrible.
never heard Kendrick
Never.
before Euphoria?
Never.
You're lying. You
I
never heard
of
Swimming
him, like, I've
Pools. You
seen
never heard the song with him and Drake.
Never.
None of the songs with him and Drake.
Never. 'Cause
You're
here's the
lying.
thing. As an
You're such a
artist,
liar.
I swear to God, if I heard him, I didn't know it was him. It could be like in a playlist of somebody playing songs, but I was never like, yo, put on that Kendrick. I never. When I heard Euphoria, I'm like, that's the hype over this nigga. Why does he sound like this? Then I realized he was mocking us. And I was like, okay. And I started taking him more in. And I'm like, I guess why, like him and even J. Cole, not to say J. Cole's not dope, but I've never listened to him. Just because I feel like that backpack persona, a lot of these people like force it on them, but they're really not those people. And to me, Kendrick showed you're a jealous motherfucker. Like,
I believe it now.
that's just what I feel like. I'm like Kendrick. Like I never like. I'm a spiritual person. I gravitate towards your spirit. And when I see what Kendrick did now, I'm like, that's why I never listen to your music. I think you're an evil nigga. Like, there's no reason to be coming after Drake in this magnitude, other than jealousy. Like, even when you look at the local people,
He said he doesn't like him.
Yeah, but okay. So this goes back to me and the whole like the Hawaii shit, where it's like,
You know we're recording, right?
I don't care. When I put you on certain things, right? When I put, if you were to put, like, you see how we're doing this podcast right now, and let's say this blows up and I get like 1 million views, and then I never talk to you guys ever again, but this, you know for a fact, this catapulted me to a certain degree, and I'm guaning like it didn't happen. Human nature is to feel some type of ways about that, and that was pretty much like what it was. It's like, like the reason why I resonate with Drake. I'm like, people are like, oh, whatever. I don't listen to Drake's music. I can't really list a front to back song, but I respect his business hustle. And I look at it like with him, it's like a lot of Toronto artists do the same thing. We try to bring everybody with us, and they're showing you from jump they don't really fuck with you. Like, but you're still thinking like, I see, like, and that's why I go back with the Hawaii. I saw her talent. I'm not jealous of her in any way, shape, or form. I just wish it's like, just say, yo, thank you. That's what a lot of people are looking for. They're not looking for money. They're not looking for any of this shit. They're just looking for like a, yo, if it wasn't for so-and-so, I wouldn't have been able to meet this person to be able to do X, Y, and Z. When people try to act like they did everything themselves, and it's like these little steps take you to where you need to go. So that's why I feel like.
So again, you don't hate Hawaii.
No, I love her.
Okay.
Like, I saw what she was going to do. I knew, like I said, when I was working with her, I was like, I'm not a manager. I'm just somebody who had resources. So if somebody can do more for you than I can, go ahead. But, like, just say thank you. It's like you act like I was never a part. There's no, like, we've never, like, it's never been like, yo, shout out Alicia. No matter what, when I'm doing certain things, there's people that I'll still shout out, even if we don't talk. Even if you've done me dirty, because it doesn't take away from what you did for me in that time. So the problem with most Toronto artists is that we don't give credit.
And podcasters.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing, just
Podcasters
continue.
don't give credit.
Just
Artists
no,
don't-
because what you're
What-
seeing is kind of what the same
How you
shit. Remember,
feel?
I keep telling you.
Yeah.
Fam, I just wanna fam. I spend a lot of time
Thank
over there.
you.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
fam, don't act like my
Yeah.
contribution was nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're
You know
right.
what I'm saying? My contribution is the reason why you
Because-
bubbling. Like,
Thank
don't.
you.
But
And
But
the
yeah,
thing
so
is-
good hearing someone else say that.
Of
right
course,
now. He
because,
just
like-
thank the fucking heavens.
No,
that
because
someone understands me.
No, because
especially
she's
if
right,
You're
because-
raised like Christians, so to speak. We're raised like it's vanity. So you're not in Toronto. We're not raised to toot our horn, and anybody that does, you're looked at like you like people. Are, like I'll get people literally like, "Why are you so confident?" I'm like, "Why not? Like, why you want me to be sad and shit?" Like, they're like, I don't care who you are. You could be the best person. I like to believe I'm a good person, but I still want a little bit of credit. I don't want money. I don't want cars, house, this and that. It's just like, thank you, because nobody's really doing nothing for no reason. Like, whether it's to pay your bills or this or that, like, we still, like, credit right now, it's like when you look at, like, to buy a house, it's your credit is worth more than cash. So it's like that credit that somebody gives you is worth more than, oh, I can pay you $100 or whatever. But if you say thank you, like, to this podcast, for example, then it can bring traction that more people want to come to the podcast, and it expands it. So the same thing as me, if I'm doing something and I'm creating a movement, and it's like, I need more people to know about this movement, and you're not going to tell people about it, how the heck is that benefiting me? And that is why we're stuck in this circle, because everybody wants to act like they've done everything by themselves. Like, Liar's Game is still my biggest song, and people, like, it's you. You produced Liar's Game, and we didn't even know what the frig we were doing. Like,
That's facts, yeah.
we're just like, hey, let's make a mixtape. I'm mad. Like, and I literally, like, that. I was like, yo, we put it on YouTube. My hair's all fucked up because it was raining that day. And I was mad at my boyfriend. Like, this dude, like, to this day, he's, like, following me. He's, like, laughing and shit. He's like, yo, like, you owe me. And I'm like, a little bit. Like,
Just a
that
little
song
bit.
got nominated. I'm like, what? Like, that was, like, nominated for Cut Hip Hop Awards. I was like, is this even registered? Like, I didn't even know what I was doing. It was just like a... So
Everything was
when I
going
look
on.
at, like, where I came from, and it's like, if there wasn't people that were there, like, now I can be like, yo, I feel like I'm on my own, because, like, nobody really has my back. People are scared. But for the most part, I'm like, coming up, it's like, yeah, I have people that were, like, monumental into what I do. Even if they don't fuck with me today, it doesn't change the fact. If they want to disassociate themselves, that's on them. But I'm not going to sit here and act like, yeah, I mixed and recorded and mastered it off. Like, no, there was people that were there. So that's my take.
I don't know how we got from sex tapes to this, but that's gonna be the episode. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I rock with it. Saying
Before
no.
the intro, though, I want to get the Juno shit out the way.
Yeah.
So we had a discussion last week about
Junos.
Caras, the Junos, people that run the Caras. They took out 3 categories.
Awards or categories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggae artist of the or reggae song of the year, something like that. They took out the children's one. They took out international. Actually, they took out 4, and they took out the Christian.
The gospel.
Right? International music is gone completely. That's not coming back. But they reinstated the 3, the children's gospel and the reggae.
Okay.
They reinstated that back for next year. And they also added South Asian music, and they added another one. And they also changed the way how the category, like the voting is to proceed. So like I think 25% is the judges,
Good.
15% is voters, another 15. It's like they just restructured the hip hop section actually.
Yeah.
They restructured that shit.
Just that one.
To what I saw in the email. I mean, I have the email here, but I don't want to go on my phone right now. So I posted on Facebook. You hit me up on Facebook like, thank you. Someone is finally telling the truth about the whole Junos kerfuffle. Like, what is your experience with the Junos?
So I've never like been nominated or anything. I think my producer submitted like back in the pandemic, so I kind of understood the process a little bit. And for me, a part of the reason why I didn't, or I don't submit, I should say, is because there's just a lot of politics. Like there's, there's people that will act like gatekeepers. And for example, like let's say You Don't Like Me, and how the reggae category had worked. It's different from like the rock categories or the pop categories. In the reggae categories, it's based on like, okay, you submit a song between a certain time frame. Then it goes through a panel of people. People listen to it. If they like it, then they put it through to a next panel of people, and then they determine if that's the song of the year. Most of the other categories, there's streams, there's sales, fan votes, et cetera, and whatnot. So let's say, and the people that were behind the scenes are just, you can submit if you want to register or submit yourself to be a judge. You can apply, or whatever. So let's say there's 4 people that are behind the panel, and 3 of you don't like me. Why am I going to submit my music? It's not even going to reach where it needs to reach. So there was so much behind the scenes politics that you had people that were saying like, basically, if you're not on my side, you're not going to get a Juno, or supposedly, allegedly, you got to pay a certain amount to get it. Now, I personally spoke to Alan Reed, who is the person that runs the Junos, and we had a really in-depth conversation. I told him like everything I'm saying right now. I told him, I feel like there's a lot of blackballing, blacklisting. There's people that are behind there that are not connected with the actual community. It's the same people over and over and over that are winning repeatedly. And there's so many, almost every black person in Toronto is a reggae artist. There's more reggae artists than any other genre of music, yet it's the same 5 or 6 people that are winning over and over, and shout outs to them. But if you're actually in it, we all know it's not based on your talent, qualifications, credentials. There's a lot of more behind the scenes stuff that is going on that they weren't aware of. And they're like, we designate people to be a part, like if they're like old white people, for example. So they're like, okay, we're going to put you on. You're supposed to be the person that, checks into the community and lets us know what's going on, because we don't have any connections. Now, if you're a person who's biased or you don't really go out to these events, you don't really know what's going on. So now you're just looking to see like, okay, well, I know this person has music and I know this person has music. So it was like a mockery. It wasn't really based on who's actually putting in work. It's about like knowing when to submit. It's not really properly advertised. So a lot of us don't even know when the cutoff point is, how to actually submit and all that stuff. So once you figured out the formula almost on how to win, it's impossible not to win.
But sorry to cut you. Do you still think like being like, let's just say, because we've seen like, we've talked to a 1-2 reggae artist, shout out SB the Don, Windy Smoke, One Don you've worked with. Even if they don't win, don't you even think a nomination would help? Because like Junos is still like, it's still a recognized thing. And even if they don't win, they could get nominated or get a nomination. They can go down there, buck heads with some people. I still think those things are important. And that was my whole thing about it. Like, like they don't have to win.
Right.
But even the Junos just giving them that little odds of saying, hey, like, this is an artist, the SB the Don. She's a female artist from Toronto, whatever. Hey, pay attention to her. Right. One Don, new up-and-coming dancehall act, you know what I'm saying? From Toronto, same thing. Like even the nomination part helps.
I feel
So-
like the nomination, it's just like if you ever watch like American Idol or Canadian Idol, I used to always say like I would go on it, but I would never want to win. I just want to get in the top 10 so I can be recognized because then you can pick. Whereas if you win the Juno, you kind of have to fall into a certain blanket and there's things that you have to do that pertain to representing the Junos.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I'd rather be nominated than to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can pick and choose where you want to be recognized. And
Yeah.
For example, in the reggae category, there was an artist named Tomei. Shout out to her. And
Tome, Tome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of her.
And she won. And then when I first looked at her page, I knew she wasn't a reggae artist. She's a straight African girl doing Afro beats. But she had a song with Sean Kingston. So before I even
Sean
heard
Kingston's not a reggae artist though.
according to us,
He's Jamaican pop.
there you go. But for us, that's as real as it gets in Canada to them. So once I seen number one, he's Jamaican reggae, whatever, and he's also international. So before even hearing the songs, I looked at it. I'm like, she's gonna win because she already has what they need.
Yeah.
But I also looking at her and I can tell she's not a reggae artist. So this is a reggae song. So part of the reason why, like, when she won and she threw everybody a curveball because again, when you win, there's certain people that feel like, well, now you got to be a part of us. And a lot of people will sell out their management or whoever brought them to that point to be with this person. And that's where a lot of these people kind of get like stifled. Now it's like it's kind of like, I don't want to say a cult for lack of a better word, but a lot of people leave the people that got them to where they're going because that gatekeeper is like, all right, I got my paws on you. Now come with us. She was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with the people that got me to where I'm going. She didn't, sell herself out to this person. And then all of a sudden there was articles that were being written about her. Oh, she's not even a reggae artist and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, anybody who went on her page for 1 second could see that she was Afro beats. You wanted to get your paws on her and you couldn't. So now you want to destroy her. There's like, we call it like a Juno curse. Everybody who wins a Juno, you don't really hear anything about them afterwards. There's like a joke. So, and it's because of now you kind of maybe owe people certain things or there's certain expectations of you. And some people are not ready to get that Juno. Like you win it and then you go back to the block. Like, you know what I mean? Like to me, if I could have submitted, I did at my producer. I believe he did it. He said he did. I don't know once, but I was like, when I get it, not if, when I get my Juno, I have to take it to a next level. I can't just go back and be doing open mics on Kensington and all this other stuff or whatever. Like it has to take it somewhere else. Like you should be hearing, if you're winning multiple Junos, I should be hearing your music every time I turn on the radio.
But that would be testament to your hard work after winning that Juno, though, because now you won
Absolutely.
the Juno, you have the ears of the
Absolutely.
other side. Now your music has to shift to kind of appease some of the other side's ears. And still, you can probably still do your own personal work.
No, because when people, this is where we mess up, especially as black people. If you go to India, you want an authentic Indian experience. When these white people, shout out to y'all, when white people come over to us, they don't want us to water ourselves down for them. They want that real deal. Otherwise, they would stick to whatever it is that they were doing over there. So when we change, like, for example, Shensei, she lost herself, had to find herself back. When you change thinking that's what they want, they're like, no, we wanted you like this. This is what we accepted you as. We already have 1 million people doing this. We like this authenticity and this uniqueness that you bring. Me, I'm like one of the most pro-black, outspoken females. I've never had to change. I'll give you like prime example. My first grandma, you know Joe Sprox?
No. Well, I think so. I think I heard of
The
him.
white guy, he's like a rapper.
Actually, no.
Like,
I don't.
Okay.
Is
So
he,
he's-
wait, he makes beats?
Yeah, beat
Sprox?
maker. Yeah, Sprox.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So a few years, when I first started out,
You were
when we
with
did
me.
I Can't Breathe, when we recorded it first, and he was I met up with him to go pitch that song to Factor, and he was telling me, yo, this song is too black. There's all these white people behind you. They're not gonna take it. Da da da. This was 2013. 2024, everybody's screaming, I can't breathe. This, that, whatever. So it's like, I feel like kind of. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with this? What were we talking about?
Appeasing to the other
Right.
side. You don't have to.
I've never changed my stance. Now I got people that weren't even acknowledging. You got girls that you didn't know if they were black, white, Spanish, Latina. Now they're all like, trying to be on the front of this. And it's like, before you guys were ambiguous, the Mariah Careys and shit. Now that it's cool to be black and everybody's saying Black Lives Matter, y'all want to bump me out Because, like, I've been seeing this when it was unpopular, when it was, oh, she's too black, she's miserable, they put my head on a Klansman, said I was black, KKK, like, all this other stuff. And I was like, I haven't said anything different from the beginning to the middle of my career, but now it's trending. And then you got people that are coming in and, like, infiltrating it and kind of getting credit for it. Like, not just what I do, but in general. It's like you got people that don't represent the culture that are speaking for the culture. And until we start either supporting those people that are adamantly, like, anybody can support the culture for a day or two. But, like, when you see somebody like, yo, this is really who they are. When they're getting their ass kicked, they're still this person. A lot of people can be like, okay, I retreat. Like, so I feel like we don't really have any grounds. Like, when we asked this, going back to the Junos to coming back or whatever, it's like, I feel like we have so much work that we needed to do before begging to get back into the Juno category, because we're not going by streams, sales, fan votes. Maybe now. I don't know if they're going to do that for all of it, but when you look in the categories of what it was before, we didn't have to do the same thing that the other groups did. So to me, it's kind of like, I want to work for it. I want to feel like as if, like, you know, and if I didn't have enough streams, then that will make me go harder. But if, as long as I know that you're behind the panel and you're my brethren, and all I got to do is submit a song that I know you are going to like.
Then you don't want it.
Exactly. Because I think it was you that was saying, like, why don't more people submit or whatever? And it's like, a lot of us are like, what's the point? And then when you look at it, it's like, there's like, what, 11 other provinces outside of Toronto? Why is it only Toronto artists? Like, how come nobody from Montreal or none of what? Like, there's music in Calgary and all that. Like,
but again, it goes back to my point of, and again, it's not, I wouldn't say it's the artist's fault. It's the Junos. The Junos has to make people aware of these things, of how to, like, you know, how to get nominated, how to just make
you
it.
to do it.
Yeah.
And you're not doing your job.
So, like, as a nominee, per se, hey, congrats, you're a nominee. This is what you need to do to bring awareness or to bring people.
It's not even that.
But it's just
something like
something. But
behind the scenes. Like, what it is like, okay, for example, like, guys like you can go on the Juno website and you'll see a category where you can submit your music or you can submit to be a judge. We need more people that are in our actual community that represent.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
It's the same thing like with the Grammys. There's nobody, everybody wants to be an artist or in front of the camera. Nobody wants to be behind the scenes. And the people that are behind the scenes are not a part of the community or they're biased to the community. Like, you'll never really see a black female really win the Junos because the people behind it more feel like these, not the Junos, but the reggae Junos. It's mostly black men because you got a lot of, like, I hate to say it, non-black women that don't really either relate to black women or like us. So they ostracize us out of our own culture in other ways. And nobody's really wants to talk about that. Like, why the one female that won in the reggae category wasn't Jamaican. Meanwhile, you got Amoy, who's been submitting for like 15 years. She should have won by now, if nothing else. Like,
but again, it's the information. I keep going back to it. For some strange reason, like, information in Canada is like, they don't put it out. They hinder it. They make it a thing where it's just like,
Absolutely.
you don't know. You have to really go out and find it. And yes, like, you know, to some people they say, okay, yeah, well, if you really want it, you can go out. But for some people, like, you know what I'm saying, it's just
You don't
hard for
even know
them.
where
You
to
know what I'm
look.
saying? Yeah, exactly. You don't even. Where do I even look?
Yeah.
Where do I start? How do I start? You just don't have these information. So, like, talking to you and even just bringing up these conversations. This is how we have it. And
Absolutely.
hey, unfortunately, we are the ones that are going to have these uncomfortable conversations with people. I don't mind. I don't give a shit, tell you the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Junos, you know what I'm saying?
Like, I heard
Until
they
you guys
went to
have a
Jamaica and
podcast
that's how they
thing,
got
I
it
don't
back, because they went to, like, Sun City and they must have been, like, talking about it in Jamaica. And then the Junos, I feel like the Junos felt bullied to bring it back because we made it about race instead of really acknowledging, like, we have work to do. There's times when we need to bring up race. I don't feel like this was one of them.
But that is the Juno's problem. Juno should have said there's not enough applicants for the nominations. Like, forget about forget about the reggae nomination, but the Christian gospel nomination also got cut. Who do you know is making that music here?
Exactly, it's true.
Is there a
like, when I
Kirk
seen it cut, I'm
Franklin
like,
here?
it made
where's the revolution?
sense. Like what they did, and it's like, we have to also remember people are investing money, and nobody wants to invest in a dead business.
Exactly.
And we're not even like we're like, yeah, we want to be televised and this and that, and it's like all these shows, like when we're in the reggae community and like people be like, oh, I don't see you on this and I don't see you on that. I'm like, none of that stuff is registered with SOCAN. Like, everybody is doing bandulu stuff that means nothing in the actual music industry. So all those songs that you're doing, no disrespect, love you out, When Dance Did Nice, and all these performances and shit, they don't matter in the music industry. Nobody is checking at these dancehall parties to see how many times you performed. because nobody is really trying to get their hands dirty and say, okay, I'm going to go and do a community event. I'm going to go do something at whatever, Yonge and Dundas Square. That's why, like, for me, like, people are like, oh, I'm, like, bitter. I'm like, I get angry when I'll look for shit to do and get my hands, like, dirty and stuff and be in the trenches. And then people just come and, like, try to, like, either steal an idea or bunks me off what I'm doing or try to act like I'm a nobody. And it's like a lot of people are blueprinting themselves after what I'm doing, but they're not doing the homework and the research. And then this goes back to having actual representatives in the music industry that could be like, there's people that know me like, yo, when have I ever taken a year off doing music? Even if it wasn't music, talking, disrupting the city, whatever. Like, there's never been a time when I haven't been, like, consistent. Then you have people like Kendrick, they'll take like 5 years off, take breaks, come back, and then people glorify those people. And it's like, why don't we pay attention to the people? Like, you got to be likable, whatever. But if you really take in, it's like, I'm not bitter, so to speak, for no reason. It's like, how long do you think a person can do something before they're like, yo, like, why are all these people getting, like, the credit or respect for shit that I've been doing? And then we say, like, to artists, like, work harder. And it's like, if I work any harder, I'm going to die.
But I
Like,
thought you never knew Kendrick. How you know he takes 5 years off?
because I studied him after this beef.
Okay, all right.
I know Kendrick more than his fans do. That's why I'm like, this nigga's jealous.
No,
like,
I'm just saying. I'm trying to
I'm dead ass. We get into that. See me, I don't talk without facts. So if I'm gonna, like, speak on a person, I'm gonna go and, like, I don't watch, like, TV or whatever. Like, I watch, like, documentaries. So, like, to go with the whole Kendrick or whatever, to me, I feel like they don't want another Drake in the music. Like, I literally did interviews in Atlanta where they're like, oh, we don't need another Drake, and you're good. Like, and they were joking, but they meant that. I was like, you really do. After that, I was getting, like, little text messages, like, not text messages, DMs from fake accounts. Go home, Atlanta's full. Like, I was like,
Oh my God.
and this is, like, before it. So what I'm saying is, it's like, if they can bun out somebody on Drake's level, who is me? You know what I mean? Like, and we need more than Drake. Like, one man can only hold the reign for so long. Like, we should have more people.
But that's an industry issue. But
Top
yo,
fives.
let's intro the show, bro. It's your boy Vegas.
I want to do songs of the week first.
You
Oh,
want
we
to do that
didn't
before
start?
intros? Okay, sure. Song of the week. Song of the week. Forget the intro.
Songs of the week, and then we do an intro. Do you have a song or no? You don't have no songs, right?
Who, me? I got a song. I'll start it. Or you want to start it?
Start it. Go ahead.
One started. All right.
Let's see what temperature you're on. This guy's gonna do a
Super hippie.
Maybe. Nigga.
I'm for the mob. PG. PG.
Where's
Left you up?
I gotta lower that one.
Oh.
Needle.
Is it? My nigga. You know, really bring a son on there. It ain't me. Oh, this was all this year, man. 2024, craziest year ever.
Nigga. Niggas. Niggas. Trying to say. Please. Have the money, please. I fuck with that playing everything that's in between us. Giving up a mix between us. Shit, Whitney need us.
Yo, this guy kills me.
They need. They free.
Yo,
They freeze. BD sick of BD.
did he do that on purpose? Did they both do that on purpose?
But the A minor.
Yeah. Did they both do that on purpose?
I think so. Cause he did it first.
Isn't that Kendrick mocking him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but he
Toronto
did it.
accent.
But no, it wasn't. He was mocking the minor thing. He was like trying to strike a chord, and it's probably
Yeah.
A minor.
But didn't this come out first?
Yeah. So this is what I'm
Kendrick
saying.
is
Like,
mocking him.
no, I'm not even thinking that because Loki, I think like
That
Not
song
Like Us was
done
done before.
Yeah.
I Loki think this shit was fake.
Is that up?
Oh yeah.
I think this shit was fake.
Like they heard the songs before they released.
Yeah.
And they're
Are
like,
they on
okay,
the
make
same
sense
label?
to that. Makes sense to that. Come
no,
on.
because it's just a super coincidence.
Hands on, yeah. Take it dance for drink and say that ass for free. Yeah, talk about my nigga today.
Babe.
Shit.
Hey. You playing the whole of?
I want to play the end. I want to play this first time. Hit the middle. Play it. Paraphrase. Come on, man.
What is it? The brain?
Come on. Am I right? Sorry, that's not the one I was. Yeah, with the bumper. I need this fucking way shit right now. Let me see.
The man said it all.
Me and Savage had the hose dripping wet, it shows, almost had to swim to it. K-Dot shit is only hitting hard when Baby King put his pen to it. Calling me the white boy and the shit kinda got a ring to it. Cause all these rappers waving white flags while the whole fucking club sing to it. Murder scene on your man tonight, then come to vigil with the candlelight. Body at the fucking body and you know this is for hoes. Can't listen to lies that come. Ross calling me the white boy and the shit kinda got a ring to it. Cause all these rappers waving white flags while the whole fucking club sing to it. Murder scene on your man tonight, then come to vigil with the candlelight. Body at the fucking body and you know Rick reading my Miranda rights. I'm going on vacation, I hope next time y'all plan it right. Cause you gotta pay for saying my name. Guess now niggas understand the price now.
Alright. Make it that time. Do the third round knockout.
Okay, good. What happened?
Why? Because I'm gonna attack the
I'm out of the house.
What will
taste your face? I'm out in the mouth. Nope. That is out of my house.
Hoes.
Come in your mouth. Why? Kill it right now. What? Huh? No. Why?
Fucking nigga.
It's already done. No, it's only the one we already know. Boy. The loose.
Fuck.
There's only Big D in this. Pause! This shit up be cute. When anybody is blacker than you. The black and the bay is bigger than juice.
Bigger than juice.
We like
The bigger than juice.
Please, girl.
Is bigger than you?
After life. Right? Actually life. Right?
Oh shit.
Actually like. Come on! This track's hard! This shit's hard!
This shit.
You're dead. Pause. Hold on. Pause this. If you think this song is not better than Not Like Us, you are tripping. Lyrically, you cannot stand on this boy right here. This song, Family Matters particularly, he threw a lot of fucking boom, low blow, boom, bam. That song's crazy and amazing.
Yeah, it
like
is.
listening to it over and over again and just catching every single
Fam,
this
it's
crazy.
the better song.
It
It's
is
just
a better song.
Kendrick just played the fucking game better.
He shouldn't have did it 3 like that. If he did like 1 at a time,
Yes.
probably would have won this because all those 3 songs together was like, why did you put all 3 of them for? Like, what the fuck?
Because he wanted to attack. I keep telling you, the problem in that beef was he wanted to attack too many. It's in all of his beefs. This is what I'm gonna play here. It's the same problem. He wants to go at too many. Just stick to one person. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in shock. The nerve, the audacity. Okay. So if you abuse me for working with someone else on a couple of V's, what do you really think of the nigga that's making your beat?
So big! Bring this video back! Crazy. Eats.
The top 5 as far as your little talent goes. That's the shut out at the talent goes. But back to the naked service. And they got your purpose. Woo! None of that is what them that they do. You just have to do. Do what you do. Oh my God. In the 80s. Updated. That it's happening late. Will be televised. No, then you maybe I'm coming for you. Coming for you. And again, that's his.
Too nice, man.
He's nice, but he's too cocky because you'll be your demise will be televised. It's the same shit he said to Kendrick and it backfired.
Definitely backfired on him still.
I love the boy. Like, yo, he's nasty when he get into his rapper bag, but goddamn, man.
Yeah, he's nice though.
I wouldn't really let talk about. They got us fucked up.
Is it Sample King?
Yeah.
The niggas got us fucked up. We not like who? We no want be like no man. We have our own style. We are talk about fam. It's the Bacardi slang with a Jamaica twang. A true Drake fuck a girl make you go make a song about BBL. But we no watch man dog. Smaggy tell the joker we no Batman dog. Pussy, what you know about bad man yard? This a oak and not that where we stand on guard.
Who is this Kendrick?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The next time when they chasing the cloud, keep me blood clot sitting in your mouth or your mouth.
That bad.
With a shot man, pussy one in your face with a clap one. Can somebody please want a fat one, huh? All of a sudden everybody forgets when them run into the God for turning song in a hit. Give you a beer by the first is you son of a bitch. For this ape looking nigga, get the banana clip. Another dead rapper, fully my leg copper. Trin is a real proper.
Sample King doesn't need no guns, fam. His guns is right here, dog. Yo, fucking Donkey Kong stomping nigga, dog. This guy's big, man. He's always been that tease, though. That's the crazy thing. 10 years, dog.
Skinny.
Huh?
He used to be skinny and long, and then this
Is that
guy
where I think it
big
is?
up.
No, that's not where I thought it was.
They must have got us fucked up.
Oh no.
Outside, up in your town and you got them outside. Come and take a trip up on the north side.
Oh no.
That shit is slippery, go slide.
Why does he have bare violence in this song, dog? Holy. Sample King, not easy, man. No, shout out to Sample King, fam. He was one of the guys I worked with that, like, I did a song with him one day. Next day, it was on the radio.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's
like,
how
what
that
the
happened.
fuck?
So I was getting my ass kicked in the comments for defending Drake.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, Sample, what do you guys need to like defend this shit? Because I'm a female. Like, it only takes so much beatings. So I was like, flip the tunes. Because if I do it, it's just like, yeah, whatever. But I'm like, if you do it, it'll carry a little bit more weight. And I forgot about it. Then all of a sudden he's like tagging me. You got us fucked up. I'm like, yo, you did it? Aw.
Shout out Sample King.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a a Scarborough legend, correct?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a Scarborough legend right there. He's one of the realest.
Yeah, Cataracty goon.
Yeah.
Fam. Yeah. Big
I
up
don't know about that.
Cataracty.
I go to church on Sundays.
True.
But it's the Man Dem show. It's your boy Gutsy.
It's your boy Vegas. Who are you?
Alicia Cinnamon, a.k.a. Toronto's favorite spice.
Cool. No,
Do I like cinnamon on my spice as a spice? I don't.
I
think
do
Right.
still. I'm a sweets guy, so you know.
It
me.
lowers
like
your
cinnamon?
blood pressure.
Does it really?
Does it really?
It's many health benefits. Just
Yeah.
like taking in small dosage.
When we were in the bin, like anytime we used to burn, we used to burn up the cinnamon and shit. We used to put it in the fucking in the boil pot. We used to pour it in there, make the house smell like cinnamon because you know it's a nice little air freshener.
I like cinnamon in my porridge.
I don't like porridge.
Yeah, I know you
What?
say that. Yeah,
Long. It's
Any
not a long
types?
story. Any kind of porridge.
Wow.
I'm traumatized by it still. Like
Fair
when I
enough.
see it, like
That's how I
yeah.
feel about avocado.
You don't like avocado?
No.
I love avocado.
I don't like avocado, but I'll deal with it.
I don't like the texture. My mom
Yeah,
forced
it's
me to eat, and
weird.
I threw up all over the place.
Avocado or guacamole or the both? Or them both?
They're both nasty.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same?
It's just mash up like potato or mashed potato.
It is, yeah.
Isn't relish pickles?
Yes.
Same shit. Well, that's different.
No.
Cucumber, relish, pickles. They're all the same
Yeah.
family.
Well, I like pickles. Not like I haven't ate a pickle by itself in a minute, but I'm not doing relish.
You don't like relish, eh?
No, I'm
it's
not doing
sweet.
that.
Sweet relish? No, nothing.
No, I'm not doing
really.
relish.
Like I could do it if I'm really, really hungry and I'm like getting one of those like street meats and I just want to make sure I get my money's worth. Fill up all the condiments. Yeah, but like for me to buy it and put it in the fridge, no.
Nah, even the street meat is plainers.
Cleaners too?
Yeah, plainers.
God.
Maybe the bacon bits.
The bacon, but that's
Yeah,
still
'cause I'm
plain
pork.
because that's like just
Yeah, no
toppings.
ketchup, no mustard, no
How does
relish.
the bacon bit stay on?
Just the bacon bits, because you pour enough of it, because they have enough, so you could just
There's
fucking
no like
pour the whole
traction with
thing.
the ketchup to hold it.
Nah, that's nasty. Ketchup was nasty. Mayo nasty. All that stuff is bad for you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe first. Do
the
all the good
assimilated
stuff.
bacon bits are better for you than the ketchup.
I mean, shit, bro.
That's
I'm
like-
the pickiest person in the world. I
He
keep
just
telling
doesn't like
people.
sauce.
Yes. No, I
never
do. It's
used to
just
eat
what kind of
on my
sauce?
spaghetti. I used to just eat it plain.
Plain with
Plain.
butter, right? And maybe are you a
Spaghetti
person
and
like
butter?
put like
You had to give it to me
different,
before you put all that shit.
did you put
on.
like black pepper on in the seasoning? You kind of
a
like
little bit, like the garlic powder seasoning?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but the
That's the
sauce,
same way.
It's only recently I started. I don't like onions or I don't
I
like.
don't like
seeing
onions
it, yeah.
either.
I don't want to see it. It
I-
can be
okay.
mixed up to
Yes,
flavor,
yes,
but I don't want
yes.
to.
I don't want to
to
see onions and
yeah.
shit either. I fucking hate onions unless it's sautéed onions. I can because it has to
Yeah.
be cooked. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people like just chop up onions and throw that shit raw. Like, how do you eat that? That's nasty, bro.
Apparently
it makes
it's
you
good for
cry
you.
when
Yeah, I
you
had a
cut it.
friend who
What
used
kind
to
of fruit?
eat-
What kind of vegetable makes you cry when you cut it?
onion.
That's not supposed to be for you. Isn't that like a deterrent? Like, don't be eating me, bro. What do you got?
No,
what do you guys
onions
on?
are actually good for you. I had a
Yeah,
friend who
they
used
are.
to eat them like apples.
Ew,
Yeah,
that's
like-
nasty.
Yeah, I had a family member that
Bite
used to do
into
that.
it.
Bite into it and
Ew.
shit,
Kanye's
eat
daughter
it.
does that too.
Who?
Northwest. Kanye's daughter.
Ew,
Like, I only knew
ew.
one person that did that, and he's like never sick because there's so much like health
Ew.
benefits. But
Same thing with tomatoes.
yeah,
I like tomatoes.
But you'll eat it like raw, just
I'll
like
eat it
that.
raw, yeah, because that's a fruit technically.
Not like cut up. Just you'll just
Yes,
bite
it's a
into it.
fruit.
I stopped
Yeah.
eating tomato for a while, and then I got back into it. Like I'm a texture person. Like the slightest, like if I eat something and it's spoiled or whatever one time, it's like that does it for me. You know, it'll take a while.
Yeah, that happened with me with
Like, I think my adult palates are just now coming in.
that happened with peanuts. When like I love
Yeah.
peanuts, but one time I had peanuts and I had an allergic reaction because I'm allergic to tree nuts as well. So it might have been that association, and I just stopped eating peanuts for like
Hell yeah.
a very long time. I
Could-
wouldn't trust it.
Could you talk to somebody that their taste is like completely different from yours?
In food?
Yeah, like it's shit that you just don't like. Like whatever they like is shit that you don't like.
How do we eat then? How do we sit down and have a?
But that's what
family
I'm saying.
dinner?
Would you be able to like talk to that? Would you be able to have
I
a?
mean, if I fell in love with the personality, like I don't mind cooking for me and cooking for that person what they want. I cook for what I want. We'll still eat together. We're just not eating the same things. I think it'll really well. It wouldn't even mess up restaurant time because she'll just order what she wants, and I would too.
I
I-
did that, and I became vegan, and then I lost like 100 pounds. So. I mean, it was great while it lasted, but I don't think I'd ever
do it again.
do it again. No, I was like, I didn't realize how skinny I was.
So
until-
you became vegan for the homeboy?
yeah, because like he was. I don't mind if we have different tastes, but this person was like very meticulous. Like, I don't want to smell it. I don't want it around me type of stuff. So it's just like if you smoke weed and a person doesn't smoke. I could be somebody who doesn't smoke, but if you're one of those people that's like, ew, I can smell it, like, then it's not going to work. I'm not going to be like hiding around corners and bushes and whatnot.
Facts.
So yeah, it's like if you're like a person where you don't eat meat or this or that, as long as like what's for you is for you, like, I don't mind cooking because like I'm a pretty flexible person. So it's just, what are you really eating that I can't eat that you're going to try to like force upon me? I don't like egg or ackee.
I hate ackee
It's like
too.
the same thing.
That's nasty.
Ackee is gross.
And ackee's supposed to be a fruit, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
poisonous.
heard.
one.
Poison. Yeah, like you cook it bad, you die.
Yeah,
What
my
kind
friend,
of-
my
that's a
friend,
bad
she's
situation.
Russian. She climbed up a tree in Jamaica one day. She's like this wild Russian dread chick, and she ate the damn ackee raw and ended up in the hospital. She's lucky her parents had money. I'm like, nobody.
Marshall.
Everybody just watched you do that.
They didn't tell you? You're dead,
look,
you
look
know.
on the mud Ross
You're
right
dead.
now. Like,
Don't eat that. Yeah, I got nothing. Just look at
Nothing.
the
Just
white
watch
girl
her. Watch her.
flip
She
up the
wants
dumb
what she do.
bumper cloud. What she was following. They just looked
Like,
at her.
her parents had money. I'm like, do you know what it's like to get sick like overseas, much less like in Jamaica? So I wouldn't want to be sick in America. Like, I don't want to be sick in Canada. You're lucky you had enough money to pay to insure yourself. Cause like, she's like, yeah, my parents told me I can't go back to Jamaica.
When's the last time you've been to like anywhere other than North America?
I've only been to like England, outside of like North America, because I've been to Hawaii, but that's still considered North America. I've
Yeah.
never been to the Caribbean.
You never been to back home? Like,
Nope.
you're from Jamaica, right? Like your background?
Partially. My dad is Jamaican Cuban, but my mom is from St. Kitts and Nevis.
You never been to none of those places?
No.
God damn. So
Everybody
I'm thinking,
was here. Like now, everybody's built houses back home,
Mhm.
but most of my family was like here in England.
Do they consider you American in England? Like you're an American girl, or do they consider you Canadian?
Oh, Canadian, because I mean, British culture is very similar to ours.
Mhm.
It's more Caribbean, if anything. Like I like the vibe in the UK, and like especially in terms of like music. But there's a lot of like my mom's side of the family over there is like what they would call like half caste, like the mixed kids. So there's a lot of like color coded system out there. Like it's blended, but it's very black and white. Like here you got black, white, Chinese, this, that, whatever. It's very black and white over there. So I'm the black side of the family.
We'll get into that later, but I'm gonna get into the topics. Top five.
Top five.
We should have played a song. We should have played that record.
Grammys?
Yeah, wherever
That's the
he
name of the
said.
song? I think that's Grammys off with the him and Future.
He said two of them. He said something about Shut Off Shawty, and he said something. He said top five. But who cares? We don't need to pull up. Top five is Free. Curveball Decision. Cause me and Gutsy thought. Well, Gutsy, I don't know, but I can't speak to him. He's here. He can speak for himself. I thought that thing was fried. I didn't know he was coming home. He deleted his IG stuff.
It was really hard to get convicted unless you have a lot of evidence. So once they had him like on camera doing something, you got the money to do where?
So then I'm thinking that maybe he should have been home from time. It's just the antics and prison antics has
Absolutely.
made his stay
Absolutely.
a little bit longer. He had the video in prison with Herbal, apparently, and obviously he can speak to.
Top five.
But yeah, apparently, he didn't. They saying that he didn't stay in GP. He's been segregated for most of his time, and I could understand
Yeah, for sure.
why. He's the biggest rapper in Toronto. Technically, you don't want a guy like that on GP, but
For sure.
you know what I'm saying. If you're in that world, you don't do GP, then you're kind of marsh up. But
Are you kind of mash up? I don't know. I don't know the street code and the street politics, but are you really mash up though? If you can't control it, I know to an
Yes,
extent.
if you can't control
I
it.
know to an extent. Yes, you have control, and you can't say like, "Yo, like put me on general population," right? But like again, we don't know all these things. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't know, but like there has been rumors that he was on. But I like, again, he's the biggest. Like,
he's the biggest rapper. Like it'll be stupid for them
I mean,
to
like,
risk
unless
his
they
life.
when he's convicted, then yeah, you would go into GP. But like, if
Yes,
he's still on
that'd be-
trial, then yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's a totally different situation. I think if he was convicted, and then it's just like, okay, well, go to General Pop. They kind of want to get you to trial
Right.
because if they don't get him to trial,
Exactly.
that's on the police.
Exactly.
Both ways it's on the police, but if he gets convicted, I don't really think they give a fuck as much.
Exactly.
Like, but if the fucking biggest underground artist in the city doesn't even make it to trial, that looks really bad on the Toronto police.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, the streets don't give a fuck though.
No,
That's
no.
not the streets' problem.
Yeah.
And like
Streets
again,
has its own rules and codes and
we were talking
regulations.
about it on the stream. You know, a lot of people didn't like the fact that he came out. That was a big thing. Like they still said like RIP to the victim
Absolutely.
that died in this whole situation. There's still there is still a murderer out there that did something to this kid, and we don't know, right?
And an important fact to state, once again, he is not free of the charges. His charges is stayed. Right. Now, if the prosecution don't do anything about this whole situation within a year's time, then it gets automatically dismissed.
They're
But
not
it's
going
stayed.
to.
And what people need to realize is like not guilty doesn't mean innocent. It just means there's not enough
Evidence.
Like the Canadian law is like they'd rather have a guilty person on road than an innocent man in jail. Whereas in the U.S. they'd rather have an innocent man in jail than a guilty person on road. So as long as he keeps his hands clean for the next year or so, it's really a lot of these things. Like even I don't know if you guys ever watched the Meek Mill documentary and stuff. When they put you on probation and stuff, sometimes that's even worse than being
inside.
right?
Yeah.
Because I had I had a person who I was a surety for, and one of their conditions was they couldn't even be in the front seat of a car.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even be in the front seat of a lawnmower, none of that shit. But then 2 weeks they breached because as an adult, this is before Uber times or whatever, who's trying to sit in the back of a car if you're a grown ass, man. So a lot of the conditions it's not that
They hinder you.
right, and it's almost like they put you in a position to
Fail.
Exactly.
Take it. I know. Take it as somebody that got convicted
there,
with
right.
no evidence whatsoever.
Right.
It was just somebody's word against my actual evidence.
Right.
They don't care because once you're a part of the system and they can kind of control you, your certain things, and they can just control a narrative of you. That's all they want.
Right.
So they don't really give a fuck if whatever. Okay, can we have him structured where he could just work for us or work through the system?
Right.
We got one. Cool.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yep.
So, but yeah, back to 5 now. So we spoke yesterday or whatever. We went on a live stream, spoke about the whole situation. Behind the scenes, it was crazy because me and Gucci were talking, and me and Gucci were just talking when he's ready to do an interview and how that interview would look. And I did tell him there will be 2 people. One of them was there, the other one wasn't. So I was surprised that he went on stream so quick. That's what I thought. Maybe a couple of days of him just partying, doing his thing. I know he went to the mall. What did somebody say in our group chat that he came out with the thing on his hat, the Muslim thing on his hat?
He came out with the kufi and went in the mall with the snapback.
With the snapback. Quick.
Sickers.
He's on that cartel tip.
Who had a sticker coming out?
Cartel didn't even wait.
Cartel or freaking top 5?
Definitely Cartel.
Cartel was
Cartel,
longer.
no, you know what it is? Cartel had the whole community outside waiting for him to touch. Whereas this guy, I
Not
don't
only
think he
that,
knew
but
he
it's
was coming
to
out.
even see Cartel maneuver through
Social media.
right. It's
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's been in
You know
jail.
what I mean? It's like he actually knows.
And
that
there
he-
hasn't
like,
been
when it was
no
right.
Instagram
That was
live or
yeah.
there's
Like
no
at first I was
TikTok.
like, keep him off social, but now like he's actually a little bit entertaining.
Yeah, he
But
is
I mean,
actually
come
funny.
on, naturally, Cartel would have been an entertaining
Right.
guy because he
Facts.
had the Cartel shot. Like
Yeah.
that what is it called?
The
Romping
Peaches
shop
Pep.
or teacher's pet? Yes,
series.
yes.
So we
yes.
already knew
Yeah.
he kind of had it from time.
The
Still,
original
it was
Blueface.
it's now that he's able to do this on the fly.
Right.
It's gonna make him so much more popular.
Yeah. And if if I'm gonna be in jail for 13 years, I'm strategizing. I'm not coming out and trying to figure out what's going on. Like I would assume that he's there. He had access to do certain things. You're watching what's going on, and especially if you have the belief that you're gonna come out, to not shout out to I don't want to say shout out, but to somebody like Tory Lanez, it's like this is the time where a lot of people feel like when they go into jail, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because especially if you're doing a lengthy time.
Yeah.
Like when you come out, it's like I'm not 25, 26 anymore, but it's like when you come out, you should, with all that time that you had there, you should be able to come out with
A plan.
straight. That's how I look at it. So it's like it sucks, but I'd like to believe that Cartel learned his lesson because I was kind of skeptical at first, but I'm like, you know what? He seems like somebody who somebody pointed it out to me. They're like, what if this is his last,
Hurrah.
Right.
It probably is.
Right.
It probably is his last hurrah. And then
because
it's
he's
back
not even
to
60 yet. And like you're looking at him and it's like, you know what? Because at first I was like, relax. But then they're like, what if he doesn't have that kind of time? And I'm like, you know what? I never looked at it like that. So
I wouldn't be surprised too, because it's something that we spoke about with Diddy from last year, which we spoke about on the stream too. Yeah, start taking in our streams, YouTube streams, just checking them out. But they kind of set you up for these things. Like Diddy's whole run before his last album was kind of like the higher up saying, "Go do your last one."
right.
And then when your whole run is done,
we're coming and get
we're gonna come get you and we're gonna deal with you.
I believe like any contract, there's an expiration and a time frame. I honestly believe that comes with it. I think some people, like, you know how they say like the sacrifices and stuff. So it's like you might get like, okay, we'll give you 5 years, and then okay, I'll do this for you, then I'll do that. And I just feel like Diddy, unlike a lot of people, just kept extending his contract. He should have been gone
A long time
a
ago.
long time. Same R. Kelly, all these people. It sucks for them because they've been convinced to believe what they're doing is acceptable when them themselves could have been rehabilitated or fixed or whatever. It's like we destroyed, whether you like Diddy or not, he's clearly a talented individual. And he's not no dummy. He went to Howard University and all this stuff. It's like, but then when you take in who his dad is, it's like, yeah, maybe we were doomed from the start. I don't know. But it's like instead of like them allowing him to like all that, he used to say that he wanted to be like his dad but do shit legally. And it's like, you still did the same shit. It looked legal, but it wasn't. It's like, imagine if like that evil brain that you had and you used it for good. Because you're pretending to do all these things. Why not just do them?
Imagine though it's
Like-
not even like evil. Maybe he understood why his dad did the things he's done, and the only way to get past is to do things a certain way. There has to always be an element of like the unnatural or a little bit of criminality to do certain things. Like this podcast can't run without ABC.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
True.
Because we still need to do what we have to do to make sure we get it
Right, but you
So
don't
there
have
has
to
be
like
some
murk
sort of
people. To,
no,
like...
no, not to the extreme, not to the extreme. But imagine though, you have the money, you're up there,
Yeah.
he's in your way. What are the natural instincts? You have to get rid of the people that are in your way. And not even to say for Diddy, because there has been times where I think Birdman's brother said, bro, when Mystical was coming up, he was hot. Niggas wanted to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
like
totally.
that.
I believe that.
He's gonna
Like,
stop our fucking
anybody
money.
who sees somebody who's getting traction, that's
The natural thing.
What do they call it? The hierarchy. Even like a jail mentality. Like you go into jail, you take out the biggest nigga first. So like there's a certain degree that you get it, but it's like, when is enough enough? It's just like when we watch like the movie Set It Off. Like if you didn't do that one last heist, you would have got out. I personally believe if Diddy did not shout out Cassie at the BET Awards and make that freaking song tormenting the girl, she would have just probably just bit the bullet like she's been doing and was like, okay, cool. But it's like you're tormenting people, and at some point, like, if you understand that you have the upper hand, I feel like Diddy he got arrogant. He just felt like, I'm invincible. Nobody's going to do nothing because it's the least likely person. Nobody was expecting Cassie to be the whistleblower.
But isn't that kind of like going back to your problem, going back to not your problem, but this is what you're saying, like he's an abuser and he doesn't know how to heal.
Yep.
So in his mind, this is probably how he heals.
Yeah.
When he's not knowing it's only antagonizing the abuser, right? So he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that knowledge because in his head, he's just like you said. He has so much power. He doesn't think what he's doing is wrong.
No, I believe Diddy is a narcissist, and when you're a narcissist, you're aware. You just don't care. Like, you know exactly what you're doing. Like narcissists, like, and honestly, like when we study like psychopaths and sociopaths, people really need to understand what narcissism is, because everybody's like, I'm a narcissist, and it's not a cute trait to have. It's
No, of
literally,
course not.
it's one of the craziest things to have, because these people, their brain is wired differently, and they don't see what they're doing is wrong. They know it hurts you, but their mindset is like, why are you mad at me for doing something to you? Now I'm the victim.
Okay, so
So-
going back to Five's situation though, is he a narcissist then when it comes to your definition? Because it seemed, because he was piecing up with everybody behind bars, we're not gonna do this no more, we're not gonna do that. Come out on live and say, they asked, I think there was a one-word association thing. What I tried to do with Sonny. You know what I'm saying?
there was a lot going on in that life.
But I want to focus on that point. They said, the man said a name. He's like, I think he said somebody's name.
Run that part.
I think
Run
he
that
said-
part. Run that
okay,
part.
Want
Run
me
that
to run
part.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Because shout
I
out
don't wanna
to
speak what I
Academics
don't
and
know.
Aiden Ross. You know what I'm saying? They got together with Top 5, and now Top 5 said he's not a rapper anymore. He's a streamer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Eddie.
I mean, he might
Eddie
as
giving out
well.
the
He's
stuff.
entertaining.
He is, and he was the Top Live has been a thing for a
Yeah.
while, right? So the Top Lives were. You want me to send it to you? One of the pages that I posted it.
I think I'm on 6 Sounds. I'm just trying to see if it's here. They post so much about him. Yeah, give me another page.
Maybe Canada's Underground or
Yeah,
Creative
maybe that.
TV.
Or that one too. I love those guys.
Yeah, this is when I'm telling you, this is when they come in handy.
They do the work when we can.
This is when they come in handy, bro.
I like the T-Dot one.
T.T?
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
T.TV?
He just hailed us. Rookie vlog page of the year. If the Man Dem was giving on awards, you win.
Yeah,
Rookie of the Year.
I literally didn't know who it was. I DM'd him and I said, "Yo, buddy, like,
Yeah,
wherever you are,
he's
doing the
putting
Lord's work.
in
Yeah.
the
He's doing the Lord's
work.
work.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, it's
I've
a
been
dude?
around
I don't know why I
I'm
thought it
around
was
this
a girl for
blog
some reason.
era, and I've seen a lot of pages come and go.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He's been one of the ones where it's
Yeah.
just like shout out to 6 Sounds, the original Hood 6, like you know what I'm saying, and T.TV. I think them for like this new era of bloggers have really put in the
Yeah.
work, whether it's like jail polys,
I
lives,
think they're
whatever.
the only ones that I
He's
actually,
on
like,
it,
really
bro.
follow because they're also not really biased. Whoever it is like anybody can get it. Like they're like,
Yes.
they're not like
They don't care who
yeah,
it is.
like it's just like the caption is what it is, and then you leave it up to the people that are watching it to like drag them or support them or whatever. So yeah, they came out of nowhere. And
You still haven't found it yet?
Yo, like it's
It's like they took it down.
maybe.
could've
I
archived
think
it.
they took it down because
so what's the context of it?
So pretty much a blogger, he was a mass blogger. He came on the live, the stream, and he wanted one word or just word associations with Toronto artists.
Right.
And he said a bunch of them, Houdini,
smoking.
I don't want to say Smokey yet, but he just said a bunch of different artists, Pressa, I believe. He just went around saying a bunch of artists. Then when it got to Smoke Dog,
Right.
they were like, fuck Smoke Dog, you know, we seen his head on the floor and this and that and the third and blah, blah, blah.
But
So it was like,
but he did say he was a legend.
he
though.
did say he was a legend.
He was a legend.
There was somebody else he dissed too. I could have sworn he was dissed somebody else on there.
Bully?
No, I
No.
don't think he mentioned his name.
It wasn't Bully. It was somebody else. I'm not sure.
But it got to. Who did it get to? Oh,
It was-
he said something about RP and he said fuck Slugger.
Slugger.
He said fuck him. He keeps saying that, and it's just like broski. You're not to. Oh, and someone in the back was like, "Oh, he's a
So
he's
who is saying that?
he's
The
smoking, he
blogger or
marijuana."
Top
So
Shot?
here. Oh, and Casper.
Oh yeah, they're
Yes.
still going at that.
Send that to me.
And these kids are really talented too.
Okay, Casper TNG.
Send it to me, man.
Called him a bucket.
Fuck it. That's crazy.
Listen, I'm going to say a name and you tell me one word to describe the rappers from Toronto, okay?
Let's go.
Okay, Casper TNG.
Bucket.
Oh wow.
Bro, but Casper helped you in the beginning, bro, with Freeze.
So describe them. Next name.
Okay, Pressa.
Savage.
Yeah, he's a savage. JJ.
Deceased.
Okay, let's go. Houdini, the GOAT.
What up?
My favorite artist.
My favorite artist too. Rest in peace, Houdini. Man. Rest in
next?
peace, Houdini. Okay,
Dick riding much.
2 more.
I have 4 more. Is that okay?
The Crown had 4 more, but they had to cut it to 2. So
Okay. Smoke Dog.
Ridiculous.
rest in peace. That was a legend. That was a Toronto.
Listen, I'm going to say a name
Okay,
and
start it
you
over,
tell
but
me
yeah,
one
that's
word.
They cut it off.
Yeah, because my youth started this in Smoke Dog. That same white youth who needs to get boxed the fuck up. I don't know who the fuck you are, but don't try and come from somewhere else in the world and go start politics about fuck Smoke Dog and this and that and the third. Because I'm pretty sure you couldn't come to Toronto with that energy. So yeah, keep that mask on and keep that bullshit up. You fucking waste, you content creator. Who the fuck is that guy? You're a fucking waste, you.
He
I
sounds
don't
like a
give a fuck
Montrealian.
who you are. You're a fucking waste, you. Yeah. And then give you the rock. Who is he?
He seems like
It doesn't matter who the fuck he is.
Oh my God.
You fucking waste you, fam. Don't come here with that bullshit. I don't give a fuck who died over here or what. Shut the fuck up. Talk about your city's fucking politics and niggas that dropped out over there, you fucking pussy. Sorry.
Gutsy's rap for the day is brought to you by.
I might hate that shit. Like, who is this guy? Oh, fuck Smoke Dog. Fuck Smack Dog. And my God. You know, you fucking idiot.
Bacardi White Rum overproof.
Sorry.
Just one shot will get you high. Yo, I'm telling you. But yeah,
So going back to it, does it make top 5 a contradictory in what he was saying from before and bringing the peace by kind of dissing certain people by saying, well, I mean, he is giving one word associations. It's not like he's giving peace. He's just giving his opinion. He's a bucket. He can still make peace if he feels like the man's a bucket. No?
yes, you can.
Probably not.
No? You're not making peace with a man that's a bucket?
I'm not gonna make peace with somebody who called me a bucket.
True.
I mean, but what's a bucket?
You know what a bucket is.
I mean, like a joke, druggie,
Oh,
whatever.
here's the
like,
thing.
whatever. Like that's not
Top
that's
5
words.
is not as known as a fucking peacemaker. So like anybody expecting him to come out being the next Pac is just setting themselves up for failure. He is who he is, and you either accept him for who he is or you don't. But expecting anything from that guy is like
I expect entertainment.
entertainment, yes, but for expecting him to like unite the city, like that's not his character. That's like a J. Cole type of vibe. That's not top 5. So he's gonna say shit like to contradict. Is he contradictory? Absolutely.
Going back to our stream, make sure you guys check out our streams. I said it. I said, F the peace with the blocks. Peace up with the people's moms that you dissed.
Yeah.
I think that's more important than anything. Like peace up, not even just with the moms, the families. Like I don't care if you do it in front of the camera. I'm pretty sure they would like for you to do it in front of the camera. But even if you do it behind the scenes, I think that's what would be more important than anything. Is like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people's, like, you know, their families are affected by some of the things that these people are saying and doing. So I don't know. I can't remember how many people that he's this or whoever he's this, if he diss anybody's dead, whatever. But I think that would be the most important thing.
I just think to stop talking about it. Like these people are already gone. Whether you contributed it to, you liked them or you did or you didn't, like they're gone. Like you know that you won, so to speak. Like
there's nothing to defend anymore.
Because I seen some stuff about like a kid that I had a song written for, and it bothered me because I'm like, I'm out here singing for this kid's life, and they're like joking about him being in the grave and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know the politics, the this or that or whatever, but it's like he's been gone for so long. Like, why now? Like, why? And the family still has to grieve. And like when I've met them, and it's like, you guys don't understand the impact that it has on people. Like this is like, you know, like a headline for a blog site for a day or two, and then it gets lost in all the other posts. But this is something that people have to deal with like on a regular basis. So it's like, if your op is dead, like, you know, tap dance and be happy in silence and keep it moving, because nobody is invincible. And Toronto's a very small place. Like there's only so many places you can hide out before somebody catches you. And it's just crazy the amount of like, we don't have enough successful rappers to be dying at the rapid rate that everybody's dying at. Like nobody has really made it to like a Drake level or Weeknd or whatever for us to be having like every other week, like somebody is like crashing out. It's crazy. And like, to me, because I always look, like whenever I see the blogs bring up a name, I don't know a lot of these guys on a personal level, but I will go and check out their music. I don't care what the blog is saying. I just listen to their music. I'm like, yo, this person is legitimately talented. And all I'm seeing their names, and I'm sure sometimes people say the same thing about me, is negativity. So this, I'll go back to the podcasts, the blogs and stuff. Like, as much gossip and drama, like we, you know, as an artist, I can say where it's like, post as much music. Like, I like how you guys, you know, I played some music and, you know, had like, the gossip is cool and that's what's going to bring people. But it's like, don't forget that these are actual artists that we're talking about, because a lot of artists do get caught up in, I just got to make the blogs. And they're not making the blogs because they got a dope track. They're making the blogs because they did some dumb shit.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. We still got some songs that we're going to promote too. At the
No,
end
for
of
sure.
this.
But
And you said something. You said like a lot of artists didn't make it on like Drake.
the amount of
Weeknd,
the success
the
rate
Weeknd.
between
Yeah.
successful.
I know.
I
What
know.
she's
Oh yeah,
saying.
no, just making.
But yeah, so you brought up 2 artists.
yeah,
Is Cardinal on that level?
no. He
Why
knows
not?
that.
Why don't
Why?
you think Cardinal's on that level?
Because if I go and ask a Chinese person right now who Cardinal is, how many Chinese people are going to know? But if I ask a Chinese person right now who Drake is, majority of them might know.
But does that go back to era though? Like age. Like if you ask a Chinese person in our age group, don't you think the answer would be different?
I think if you even go ask an old Chinese person, they'll know who Drake is. Oh yeah, Drake, best I ever had. They're gonna be like,
Was that
Thoughts
racist? I
and
don't know.
views of the
Hey,
Man Dem
hey.
show this week is solely responsible
I'm part
of the
Jamaican Chinese, I
speaker
can do that.
and does not reflect the crew. Please take whatever you hear in a grain of
We got to
salt.
do one of those at the beginning. We got to do what Joe was because we're gonna get reckless here, and I don't mind it. I don't
I don't
mind
give a
it.
shit, but
I don't mind it.
goddamn.
But yeah, no, you're kind of right. But I still think that Cardinal,
no.
to say he's not successful
no,
is
he's
just
successful,
like
but he's
he's
not
obviously
even,
not on dirt.
Yeah,
I don't.
not
Obviously,
even
he's not on.
Jay-Z is as successful as Drake. Like, let's just be real. There's very few Americans that are as successful as Drake.
Musically. Business-wise, Jay-Z is way more successful than Drake. I think musically, Drake is more successful
We don't know
than
how
Jay-Z.
much. We don't know how much money Drake has in different businesses. still.
Right.
We also
We
don't
don't
know
know.
Jay-Z either, but we
Yeah,
do
we
know that
don't
he's a
know.
billionaire.
Okay.
Together,
According to
when they're
whatever
together,
magazine, right?
separately he's not. It's only when him and Beyonce combined makes them billion, but separately they got like 500 mil.
So
You
you're
better,
saying
you better
that
fact check that, honey. Hold on.
Go ahead.
We're going to fact check that.
Go ahead.
And sometimes these
Cinnamon is always right.
Jay-Z net worth. It's 1
Con-
billion as of 2019
without
without Beyonce. Yeah. He's been a billionaire, honey.
a billionaire.
He's
I don't
tw-
know, man.
That's 2019, darling. 2019. He's 2.5 bill right now.
That's with him combined, though.
No. That's just Jay-Z.
No.
That's just, let's see
Hold on,
Separate
what's
them.
Let's
Beyonce's?
see Beyonce's net worth this year.
Beyonce's probably way more than him, fam.
She's still in music. No, hold on.
700 something million.
Yeah, I just saw that. I saw that too.
760.
760 million in 2024. She's not even a billionaire yet.
No, I feel like their net worth together is 2 billion.
It's
But
three.
anyways,
It's 3 now.
no.
Because if she's that much and he's 2.5, they're 3
I
billion
think they're
together.
combining their assets though.
Well, like I said, we could just take
As
this
if
as
they-
it's the internet. It's the internet.
We'll take it for a grain of
No,
salt.
because
Yeah,
remember,
we'll take whatever.
they're,
Take it for a grain of
they're
salt.
married, right?
Yes.
So if she goes her separate ways,
She's taking
there you go.
760 million.
No, that's what
I'm just
she's
joking, I'm
she's
joking.
taking half.
I
if
know,
not
I
more,
know,
'cause
I
they're
know,
all
I
in.
know,
That's
I
why
know,
they're
I
still
know,
married.
I know,
But
I know.
what were we? Why were we? What were
What Kanye say? Yo, B needs to let him go fuck some DR pussy, bro.
Oh, so we're talking about
Yo, he just needs to let it free, man.
But according to whatever, she's a part of them freak off. So it's like a lot of that.
She was on the list too? You see her on the list?
Yeah. Apparently, like, I mean, I'm not allegedly what they're saying is that she was one of, she's getting pimped. It's not all. All of them are. They're all
on the list.
yeah.
That's what this episode's called, is on the list.
Like a lot of them.
I
Like,
was gonna call it
you ever heard
something
of
else, though.
yachting?
Oh, yeah?
You ever heard
Yeah,
of when those
extending the
girls go
contract.
yachting and stuff like that? Like what yachting is?
Yeah,
So-
what's yachting?
Yachting,
Not driving the boat?
No.
Oh, what?
When so yachting is basically like you see like when
Yachting.
you see like Kim Kardashian or any of those like hot gals and they're on yachts. Everybody has
Okay.
yachts. all of a
Oh,
sudden.
like Yacht Week out here.
Yeah, but no. So it's like yachting is basically like you see what happened with Russell Simmons' daughter and she got caught with that old white man?
Yes.
So it's basically like when you're yachting, you're advertising yourself to these old white men. Forget about the rappers, these elite billionaires. And so the girls that go yachting, like you'll be wondering, like, why is the magazine, taking a picture of Kim Kardashian? Who cares? That's advertisement. So they know this person is available. They're, down for this, that, whatever. So like, with the baddies and all that, these girls go yachting, and that's how they get to that level. So when you look at most of the artists that we looked at, they're all on yachts. All these females started off on some kind of yachts. Like, where do you get yacht money from? That's the advertisement. Most of the females that you see that aren't on those yachts usually aren't on a certain level. So it's like, I personally believe there's a reason why Rihanna doesn't want to come back to music. Like, what did you have to do while you
Rihanna was on the yacht.
Absolutely. Like, remember, didn't you hear? I mean, fuck, you used to be seen her all the damn time. And like, even when like she said what Jay-Z's contract, like people are listening to it now, but I remember when I first heard her say it like years ago, the only way that she can leave is through the window or if she signed the contract.
Yeah,
and
I
everybody
heard
was like,
that, I
key.
heard that,
I'm
I
like,
heard
yeah,
that.
that's kind of odd, bro, because at that time I had some dude that was trying to pitch me something from Universal, and he brought me to Markham Station. We had
That's the worst place.
Yeah,
First of all,
right?
strike one.
Right? We went to Markham Station for breakfast.
Not
I was
even
like
a keg.
16, right? And this is where I realized how fucked like the industry when they want to have control of you. So I don't eat eggs. I'm allergic to it. It makes my mouth itch. So I'm like, yeah, I just want some extra home fries. He's like, nah, you gotta get eggs. I'm like, why? Like, I don't like eggs. Like, and we had this whole argument. We didn't even get to discuss the contract, none of that shit. Cause all we were arguing over is the eggs. So he's like, come on, if I had a white girl here, she would have ate that shit. I'm like, I guess that's why they die early in the movies. Like, I was like, just going back and forth. And I was like, yo, I like my life. So he drove me home. He's like, you got too much attitude. And like, me and my mom were like, you know, I felt like that was his way of testing me. I didn't realize now when you look at it, it's like, okay, if I can get her to eat eggs and she knows she's allergic to it, what
You
else?
can make her do anything.
There you go. It's
There's
like little
a party
tests that they
going
take you through.
on. All the girls are welcome to the yacht club.
Right? Everybody was feeling of ways that they weren't invited,
Magazine.
and now they don't. Why?
They
Such-
were all trying to tell us. Man.
Such deeper meanings.
And that's where I kind of have a catch-22 with Diddy's party, because it's like he was very particular about who he invited, and a lot of people begged to be there.
I know.
Whether you knew what was going on or not, that's different. But it's like it was all in our faces. Like, you knew not to go to a Diddy party. Like, wasn't nothing.
Would you have went
pleasant.
if you got invited?
Absolutely not. I didn't even like Diddy from everything went down with Pac and Biggie. Like, I was loose off of him from then. So the bigger he grew, in my eyes, I was like, how is this guy growing so big and nobody can see that he's a plant?
What about a yacht party, like the
No.
yachting party?
Well, before I knew what they were doing.
But if you knew, like, they were kind of
Now, no, I'm not advertising. I don't have it cut out to finesse people. Like, I'm just too transparent. I'm not like a girly girl when it comes to like, with guys and stuff like that. Like, they will throw me off the yacht. Like, yo, let's talk about politics.
You
Like,
just
get
don't
off.
listen. You're not a listenable person.
No, I listen. I just don't like. Most people don't fact check. A lot of people regurgitate what they heard from somebody else, and I can tell. It's like when somebody's quoting something that they heard from a meme, like we all didn't see the same meme.
Yeah,
I like.
I hate that shit too.
I like knowing, like, okay, somebody took the time, went and not just looked at the first headline that popped up, but maybe went into a couple of articles, and because that's how I don't speak on things that I haven't thoroughly researched. So it's like I wish more people just kind of
research more,
or just shut up.
do their due diligence.
Read a fucking book.
Yeah,
Do something.
encyclopedia.
So
Get back.
going back to
Top
again.
5. Yeah. You always you're trailing us off, homegirl.
Yeah.
But
Trying to
so
get
yeah,
that.
so he mentioned Casper.
Yes.
And Casper did respond.
Yes, he did.
He mentioned in the stories, R.I.P. Jason, me and him used to call you Top Goof.
Wow.
The top demon zero hat top demon W zero hats laugh out loud 0 laugh out loud. Pretty much getting at 5, and he put this picture with top 5 crying. He also, I believe, posted the
Pizza.
Go get the
situation?
burner, broski.
Yeah, pizza stuff.
yeah. So I guess that's one block that we can cancel off the list.
What is their beef?
I guess top
Because
5.
I'm not familiar.
Well,
with,
that's
like,
what the same gentleman said. Just stop. Again, I don't think it's beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he was trying to be funny. I really think top 5 just looked at it
No,
like,
but I've been hearing
yo,
Casper's name like a lot. Like, why?
I think you more heard K Money's, but
Are
Casper
they not
just
the same Sorry, guys.
no, they're
I don't-
different.
Oh,
They're
okay.
brothers. But yeah,
Oh.
K Money's the one that come outside, come
Gotcha.
outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Casper's what freeze
Gotcha,
with top
gotcha.
5.
Okay.
So I
Okay,
think that
okay,
he just
okay.
heard it. He probably thinks, or knows, or I don't know. Casper probably does some drugs or whatever.
Who's not?
Pills.
Raise your
I
hand if
don't-
you don't do drugs. Yay! 3 for
Does
3.
weed count?
No, that's a herb.
Okay.
My parents
Does
are
liquor
Rasta.
count?
That's not
Well,
a drug.
It,
Depends
It's
on
a
who you
herb
ask.
too. It's a plant.
liquor.
Rum comes from
Listen,
sugarcane.
don't try that alcoholic
Tequila
shit.
comes from
Vodka's
agave
Don't try that
plant.
alcoholic
Vodka is a
shit.
vegetable. It's potatoes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what alcoholics will
We're
always try
drinking-
and tell
No,
you.
we're drinking rotten shit, especially if we're drinking straight. We're drinking like rotten stuff, fermented vegetables and shit.
Anyways, so
And
I
fruit.
think
But do
5
you feel
just
like more people are doing drugs than not?
Yes,
yes.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, 1000%.
So
Yeah.
I just feel like 5 just tried to do a funny, and it just went left. He was just trying to say,
Top
yo,
left.
the man's a bucket. And with Toronto, you can't call certain people certain names and make it be funny.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if K Money wasn't called out this year, I don't think they're doing that to Casper.
Yeah.
I don't think so. They would have because remember he touched road and he was doing tracks with the man that he's with. So it's like when that stuff came out, now everybody's against them type shit.
Even though I don't like how it's going about, do you think more artists should take the approach of trying to get to the Aiden Rosses, the fucking academics, and putting
No.
themselves out there?
Yes.
But you're an artist. Why wouldn't you want to put yourself
I don't
out there?
feel like academics should ever speak on Toronto politics. Who's this guy?
He's a
Like,
fan of
I'm
Toronto
not saying
music.
even. No, hold, hear me out. Hear me out.
I think
don't
he
even.
could. I think
hear
he's
me
allowed
out.
to.
It doesn't even have to be Toronto politics because at the same time.
No, but I feel
hold
like-
on.
go ahead.
Top 5 still got his song played on
Right.
Aiden Ross's fucking stream.
I don't know who
which
that is.
He's
Is
one of
that
the
the guy
biggest
that was just speaking?
streamers. There's
white
two.
guy?
No, there's
No.
there's that guy with the mask. He's a waste you. But it was 2 streamers. It was Academics and
Okay.
Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross is like a big white guy. He has his own little audience. Obviously, Academics has his audience. Still, as an artist, that's your job is to get out there.
I believe, okay, my personal opinion, me and academics would clash because I feel like ever since he started putting on stuff for Toronto, it's been nothing but gossip and drama and people getting caught up in a lot of bullshit. I don't feel like he's even, the females that some of you guys put out there, I don't feel like they're actually going for the real females that represent Toronto. It's just, is this chick willing to put out? Is this person willing to do this and that? So to me, academics is like I've never seen him at a party or anything for me to say like, how does he know Wagwan in Toronto? Like,
That's
who's-
not the point though.
It
the
is?
point the point is as a Toronto artist, you need people to look at your shit. Regardless
need
of
the
who you
right
are,
people to look at it.
regardless
No,
of
because
who
I
you
watched
are,
him-
you need eyes.
I
you
wa-
need the eyes.
Only if you're desperate. You have to
No.
know.
No.
No, I think that's a bad way. I think
No,
I
listen.
think that's what's hurt Toronto
No,
so
you have
much
to
is
know your niche market. I'll give you the prime example. I watched him build up chromas, and then the minute that girl made his feelings hurt, I'll drag you down. I built you. Da, 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 da. You're not supposed to do that.
That's a
If-
particular case, though, I think.
But I've seen him do it multiple times. So
Okay.
I'm speaking as a female. I can't speak as a man dem. And remember, I'm a female. I'm an R&B singer, reggae. So I don't really need academics the way some of these guys might. So for me, speaking from my perspective, if I'm watching somebody do that, I wouldn't want to give you that kind of power over me.
Okay, so who's the academics of the reggae world or dancehall world? Is there someone similar
Like
to
Foot the
academics?
Hype, but
Okay,
most
so
of them hate women.
okay.
It's not-
So
but-
wouldn't it be your job to
Yeah.
try and get to Foot to Hype?
But
so
who's
not
that
even
you-
just
who's
but
to
get
say
him
that
to
we
push your
haven't, though?
music.
Who's
I'm
to
not
say
saying
that
that
we
you
haven't?
have, but I'm not
I'm
saying
just
you
saying,
haven't. You're
isn't that-
saying
wouldn't that be
that's
the
what would
goal?
be your
Wouldn't
goal.
that be the goal?
It could be your goal, but at the same speed, it's like, okay, you want to be able to push your music to people who actually care about the music and not just the politics or the drama or the hype or whatever. I want to get my music to people like Hot 97, radio stations that are going to play it consistently without the bias in it. It's just in rotation. When you get too comfortable with like specific like DJs and all this stuff, there's like this like I'll blackball you, a power control.
By the
And-
way, the Funk Flex and Ebro have done that before.
What?
On Hot 97 that have blackballed people or have
Absolutely.
certain things. So that's why I'm saying
Right.
again,
But they're also still kind of like street DJs. Like
doesn't matter, but they're still like academics.
still a
Well,
voice. There's still a
they're still a
voice.
voice, but they still have the
Yeah.
same problem like academics. Whereas,
But I don't
okay,
really
well, I
have
don't
much
think this
respect
is
for them
hip
either.
hop
I don't
or,
like Ebro.
but that's not the point. Even if I don't have respect for somebody,
Yeah.
me, if I'm an artist, I'm looking at it like I need some of your audience to
Yeah.
listen because regardless of if you fuck with me or whatever the fuck you fuck with,
Yeah.
there might be somebody in your audience that listens
That
to my
listens to
music
my shit.
Right.
and they might be like, yo, that might change their
But
life.
then if they can also turn around and say, I'm not going to play your music
I don't give a
anymore,"
fuck about that.
It does matter, though.
I-
Because
I
if
don't
they
care
can-
about
as
that,
an
though.
artist, I've been in that situation where I have given people the power to play my music and stop playing it. And then it is a domino effect where it's like, if this person didn't even have access to me, because they don't just stop there. Then it goes to, they're going to get a bandwagon of other people to dislike
But-
you. So what I'm saying is, as an artist, you have to know if you're a hip hop artist and somebody like DJ Academics is beneficial for a lot of these rappers, if that is your niche market, it makes sense. Your music, I feel like a lot of artists, we feel like everybody's supposed to listen to our shit. No, they're not. Not everybody listens to country, rock, hip hop, this and that. You have to understand who your niche market is and who works for you, because the reason why I say desperate is like, there are enough people that can say, yo, just take this stuff and da-da-da-da-da-da. But then there's things that you have to do to keep maintaining that relationship.
You just said that you were trying to get try to
Yeah.
get your music on Hot 97, but Hot 97 wouldn't be your niche market.
Of course it is. I do R&B more. Most of my stuff that I sell out there is like R&B, trap R&B. It's only in Toronto that I got to do reggae because they don't
Hot
play.
97 playing top 40 though. Are you making top 40
Hot
music?
97?
Hot 97
You
is
can-
just like
you
a
can
flow.
pay for
or-
like just like Flow plays local artists. You can
Yeah.
pay for your promo package. They have like different shows that they have on there that you can.
yeah,
get.
but let's be real. Are
Mm-hmm.
they really caring about a Toronto artist?
If you come to them, like most of the stuff that I drop my album in Atlanta. I had like
That's sorry to cut you. Continue.
yeah, which is Hot 97. There's New York, there's Atlanta. So I was trending. I was on like most of their local radio stations. Might not mean nothing to hear, but my songs were like number 5, number 6. I wasn't getting play here, and if I did hear there was pure politics. So when I'm looking songs that Crush on You, that wasn't even mastered. That shit was out there playing in Atlanta, trending. I'm looking when I went back that they started playing songs that I forgot that I had. Whereas that's the type of people that I want to play my music. It's just in their system in rotation. It's
So
not
you're
about
saying that. Sorry to cut you. You're saying that the Atlanta technically for you, that's your market.
Yeah.
At that moment or whatever
Even
the case
now.
may be. Even now, Atlanta is your market, not necessarily Toronto. You're saying as an artist, you need to find your market, not your niche.
well, your niche market.
Your niche market.
Yeah.
But that's going back
still-
to what Five is doing. Five
Yes.
is looking at
Yeah,
his
and
market.
if it works for him,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But for somebody like myself, I don't feel like DJ Academics supports females. I don't feel like I feel like he's very misogynist. I've watched the way that he attacks women when he doesn't get what he wants or if they rub him the wrong way. I wouldn't even open up a relationship with him just because of the person that I am. Sometimes it might not necessarily be about you guys. Me knowing what I'm going to put up with and what I won't put up with is like, I know I'm going to clash with certain people. So why even put myself in a situation to be around that?
I
You have
understand.
to know what works for you and what doesn't, and not everything is going to work for you.
No,
I
that's
feel
fair.
like top 5 in academics. Top 5 is probably the only reason why I've actually been paying attention to academics.
The top 5 is a lot of reasons why a lot of Toronto part
Right.
people, and in general,
Right.
why academics is even paying attention to Toronto
But
is because
to me
of
now,
top
see,
5.
so hear what I said, right? Sometimes we have to look at it like we're giving these people clout. We might be thinking
course.
that they're giving us, but I listened to him and he's like, yo, I'm happy to be in Toronto. These guys are trying to figure out, because a lot of them have felons, so they can't actually cross the border. So you got to figure out how you can bridge that gap. That's where like me going back to Atlanta, my benefit comes into where people are like, okay, she can link us with this person and that person or whatever. So I just feel like I wish that we had more people in Toronto. Maybe this is what I'm trying to say, that we didn't need to reach to academics. Like we should be able to, like this podcast in itself, like
But-
there should be enough people that are supporting it that it can
Of
get
course.
to that
I
point.
feel you on that. That's a conversation for another day. But that's why also too he has Aiden Ross, who Aiden Ross is tapped into like
Another-
a whole
Yeah, I don't know who
another
that is, so I
side.
can't speak on
Yeah.
that,
So but
yeah.
like again, he's just a white kid that had like
That makes
Trump,
sense.
all kinds of different people that are tapped in.
Right.
So him getting Aiden Ross to play a music video,
Right.
regardless of, and it's not even to both Aiden Ross academics, because what you're saying is true. You gotta find whoever the streamer
Yeah.
is. It might not
Like
be
I would
Aiden
send
Ross
my music to a white
Kai
streamer,
Cenat
but it would
or
be
whoever
somebody
the hell
that I
it is.
vibe with. Like I wouldn't go to somebody that I know.
You
like
don't
we're already
fuck
gonna
with.
right.
No, of course, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but like, cause like my songs, I Can't Breathe. White people love pro-black music. I would still pitch that to them. But if I know there's somebody that's like, man, that stuff is boring, and I'm hearing the way that they speak about it to people already, why would I even put it in? Why would I give them a position to even down
To
talk?
say like, yeah,
Right.
okay.
And
Yeah.
like, I'd rather people not know me than know me and have a bad taste in your mouth if I can avoid it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, we've all seen it. Like, let's not tiptoe around the elephant in the room. I've been in situations that I was like, yo, people know me in a different light than what I would have liked to been presented in. And that's because I went somewhere that was not my niche market, was something that to me wasn't beneficial. Like, I'm a person that can like bounce back from things, but did I really need it? No. So it's like, sometimes you have to know when to be like, okay, you know what? This isn't for me. It might be working and everybody else is getting reposted and this and that, whatever. Like, it would be nice to be posted on 6Buzz, but then when I really look at what they're posting, I'm like, do I really want to be caught up in this?
So hold on, what other platform are you on?
Huh?
What other platform are you talking about?
No, I was saying 6Buzz.
I know, but you were talking about a platform before that people know you from somewhere. Where did they know you from? Where did they know you from?
I'm not giving that person credit or any kind of more. That person got like 5,000 followers off of my interview. They ain't getting nowhere free promo. But I say all that to say this. It's like, when you do stuff, like, first of all, it's like, me, I'm a professional. So usually, like, if I'm coming, like, you see how we touched on multiple topics? There was no cussing, swearing, none of that stuff. Like, I mean, there was swearing. But
We're not getting personal with each other.
right, like you can agree to disagree because at the end of the day, like I haven't walked a mile in your shoes. So even when you said like you understood the system, I've never been inside, so you see it from a different perspective than I would. So for me, it's like when like sometimes I might speak and I'm like, yo, I'm very assertive with what I know, but I'm also like open to
Learning new things
Right.
or
right. And
finding
I
out
think a
about
lot of people, it's like when they come to me, it's like, oh, this bitch thinks she knows everything. It's like, no, I don't. And I'm the first person to tell you, like, I like learning and growing. take that time to like, I feel like with Toronto, because a lot of us grew up around each other, we know this person, we already have this person in a box as to who they are. And we're not willing to take that person outside of it. So it's like, I'm not even gonna fuck with that person based off of da-da-da. So then we have to go outside to the academics or this or that. But me looking at it from the outside in and how much of these people wanted to get into Toronto, it's like, Toronto is like, if we saw ourselves the way that people see us from the outside, we would appreciate what we have a little bit more.
Yeah, we don't like ourselves, and and just like you said, we go outside to look at how we look, and it's fucked up because we're just fine how we are. There's a 1-2 fixes that we could do, and it's funny that you said that too, because going back to the stream, I felt like there should have been a Toronto streamer on there. There should have been a Toronto content creator on there instead of getting this random fucking waste youth, and like, you know what I'm saying, get somebody that actually knows Toronto, that could speak on things. They could have even vet them before. Hey, you're gonna come on, ask like 5 questions, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
They could have had Agent 00. He was out
Whoever,
here. He was
but
down here.
there's fam, like Breezo's doing things right now. Voices is doing stuff. They could have brought Marlon. Hell, they could have went and brought Friday. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have did something else where they should have had a Toronto person up there with 5, fam. And that's the only thing I don't like about these guys is when they get these opportunities from the Americans, they don't show love back. And then they'll like look at the platforms and be like, okay, well, how come you guys are? Because we don't get you guys on. Top 5 should never went to, like, I get it because of his relationship with academics. But like Aiden Ross, like I get that point too, but get a fucking Canadian on.
Get a Canadian.
That's my fucking problem with the city. And then it's just like people wonder why the city can't grow in certain places. Well, this is the reason why.
Unfortunately, though, that's how we've always been. Like, for us to be looked at within, we had to go outside.
To America, absolutely.
That was the only play Canadians had as artists, as fucking filmmakers, and anybody that Ryan Poundwell, he had to go outside of the system. Any sports outlet, they had to go outside to get hot. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, he's from here. They'll start recognizing, and that's really sucky, because what, like you said, we need to do is build within and then break out, so that everybody on the outside can come break bread with us inside. Because they need, realistically on a North American level, they need our support if they want to come and do any kind of money out here, do any shows or whatever. They need the Canadian support.
And a lot of people learned that the hard way with, like, this goes back to the Drake and Kendrick beef, when these guys' shows were getting canceled at History, not realizing that he's like a part owner. Like a lot of people don't, because like people don't realize it's like Toronto is it in terms of Canada. Like we say the Canadian music industry, but really it's the Toronto music, Ontario, if you really want to stretch it. This is it. So it's so much smaller than we realize it. It's 6 degrees of separation. So if you can get, there you go. Like, even, again, I always bring up Atlanta because, like, I just came back a couple weeks ago, and it's like I do the back and forth. I'm gone again at the end of this month. I'm watching people that I know are, like, looking at the people that I'm connecting with, following them. Then all of a sudden, I'm seeing them out there. People act like they're not watching the movement, but the movement is there. And then the people in Atlanta are looking like, well, wait a minute, what's going on in Toronto, guy? Because, like, things is popping. Like, to them, it's like it's another state. It's another stop, and they just don't know how to get into it. So if you can link with one person that could be like, yeah, I can book you on the show or this or that, that's an international booking for them. Same thing with reggae artists like Skilly Bang, Shenseea, all of them, their first international stops usually are Toronto. And facts. We don't give Toronto credit for that. Nobody's booking them. Every time I'm in Atlanta, it's violence, whatever, first time in Atlanta, first this. I'm like, really? They've been in Toronto like 85 times already, and it's their first time out there. So we don't give enough credit to, we're breaking artists. We're just not breaking our friggin' selves. Like, we'll sit there and it's like, why am I opening act for, no disrespect, but a Jamaican artist? Yes, they have a hit, but how did they get that? Because their city, their country, their whatever supported them. It's like here, it's like, if like, it's shout out to the independent, you know, the radio stations, the internet and stuff like that. But in terms of like the actual commercial radio, like, I know way too many artists for me to turn on the radio and hear the same 6 or 7 people that I know in the industry on repeat. And then when I'm asking, okay, people are like, you don't reach out. Okay, I'm asking, how do I get my music to such and such a station? Nobody has the answer. Nobody knows.
But not even the simple fact of a lot of people that have these songs are not even signed up to SoulCam.
They're not. Yeah. The majority,
so especially, it's like, it goes back to the info. The info is not out there. It's like,
But even if it is, a lot of them just don't take it seriously. Like, what bothers me, like, I'm a full-time artist. Like, I used to be a daycare teacher, and then I gave up. I do, like, supply work here and there, but I'm a full-time musician. You got people that pop out every solar eclipse, and then they expect to, like, they're getting the radio plays and the bookings and this and that and whatever, and it's like, no, it's very few people that you'll meet in Toronto and you ask them if they're an artist or a DJ or whatever, you say, what do you do? And they tell you, I'm a DJ or I'm an artist, as opposed to saying I'm a construction worker or I'm a daycare teacher or this or that. It's always kind of like a plan B. So when I look and it's like, these people on the radio, it's easy for them to just say, all right, let me just grab for this person and that person, come a virgin, I'm going to go put them on whatever. But it's not an actual, it's not even a small reflection of what's going on out there. And it's like, to me, going back to like getting music out there, I just put my stuff on like my platforms and just let it spread. Like the best way that I get my music out there is by bookings. Like I'm booked like every single week. Like, and if I'd rather perform, like I got like 10 festivals. I'd rather perform at 10 festivals with like 3,000 people than to be out here making song after song after song that's not getting anywhere. Like it costs money to make these songs. I'm spending like, if you do it right, like anywhere from $500 to even maybe like $1,000 to go back and make like what, 2 cents off of Spotify.
But if the infrastructure was different and if there was more festivals, more goals over here, it would switch. I want to assume that it would switch your mindset. I don't think that there's goals.
Yo,
like
I did.
Like, don't get it twisted.
A Polish festival, Italian festival. I did.
So you're thinking out the box.
Everything.
You're thinking out the box.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
talking
So-
about the average Toronto artist.
But
They're
that's
not
what we should
thinking
be
out the
doing,
box.
though. Like when you look at Coachella, it's not just for black people.
No.
The Super Bowl's not just for black people. So when we're looking at these things, it's like, why are we only going to Reggae Fest or Jerk Fest? We already know who's going to be on that damn show. Whoever is Bredgen is putting the damn thing on. No disrespect, but it is what it is. So we have to start branching out to different places because you've heard my music 100 times, whatever. Even me asking my friends to come to shows, I don't really ask them to come to shows because they done seen me perform a million times. I don't want to put them in a position to mess up my friendships. But other people haven't seen me. So a lot of times, like I always make a joke, like I have one EP and one mixtape, and I've been riding that way for like
over 10 years. Over 10 years.
Man, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be like Lauren because I'm like, bro, until everybody hears all these songs, why am I keep continuously like for what if it's going nowhere? One, and my money is coming from performing. These people over here in friggin' Calcutta, they've never heard I Can't Breathe before. It's fresh to them. So until it makes sense, like I have a lot of singles that I'll put out there and whatever, or do collaborations and stuff, but the money comes from performing.
And
So-
you figured that out, and that's dope. But I think there's also, look at the things like you just said. The Junos don't really care. There's no much music awards no more. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Going back to the same, what is it? The Stylist Awards.
Yeah.
There's no things like this for artists to really get excited for, or just to be like, you know what I'm saying? Going back to it, it should be like that. So you have that feeling of, okay, I don't just have to go to the States, or I don't have to. The infrastructure out here sucks, and it doesn't give people the drive to really focus on certain things. Now you have a special artist like you that's like, all right, cool. I can figure out the business part. I can
feel
figure out
like
how to make money out of it.
music should
Not
be the drive.
every artist.
Like it shouldn't be the Juno.
It's not like that anymore, unfortunately.
It can't just be music, yo. Because
No,
look,
but if you
you're
really
in-
think about it,
sorry.
it's like when you first started off doing music, right? Was your thought like, man, I can't wait to get a Juno? No, you just
No.
wanted to make music.
Yes.
When we start thinking about all of those things, that's when we start like questioning our value and our worth. Like, I don't do competitions or any of that because at the end of the day, most of these people already know who they're gonna pick. You might throw them like I just did a competition and I know I was not supposed to win. They knew who was supposed to win, but you couldn't deny it because like there was a audience that saw it and was like, fuck, and they were pissed off that I won. So I'm like, when it comes to things like that, it's like, and the contestants, I was like, you know, shaking their hand, like, don't let this deter you. This has nothing to do with whatever, because those type of things can kind of make or break you. So if you're putting yourself out there to say like, well, man, I don't have a Juno, so that means I didn't do blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you know, some of these people that have Junos and they haven't performed at nowhere near as many shows as some people, or have been on the radio as much as some of these people. Like, shout out to Cairo, but there are people that have put in years worth more than work than this child. That doesn't discredit the 20, 30 years that you've been putting in because you didn't get a Juno.
Yeah,
Like-
but how
but-
do you tell that to the everyday female MC or Toronto rapper? Like, hey,
I
there's
just did.
other avenues to approach. But say like come on, they don't have a you.
But
You know
I'm
what
saying I just did. Now it's up to people to. I can only
And
do.
it's sorry to cut you. Is that their niche market? Should I, as a rapper, should I go to the Italian festival and spit my bars? Like,
Why not?
What am I doing it over like
Why not?
Hostile? I mean, like what
The
am I
thing
doing?
is,
Like,
like-
remix or something? What am I doing over here? Like what am I doing?
Yo, when I didn't change. When I did Taste of Italy, I did I Can't Breathe. I did my Bears Hammond remix. You don't think white people listen to reggae music and hip hop and all that stuff? The thing is, like, I'm diverse. I also know different languages, so I can do Spanish and I'll throw that in there to be like, hey, and they're like, okay, cool. She's, at least she's trying. But overall, it's like, first of all, they're paying for actual entertainment. Whereas when we stick with our people, that's when people are like, oh, how she, like, I'm in Atlanta like every other month. And I never tell people when I leave, I just pop up and everybody's like, yo, how the fuck is she doing that shit? And it's not bookings off because they're looking at it like, well, we don't see her at this booking or that booking or whatever, what you're thinking I'm supposed to be on. Those people aren't paying me. They just want me to be there and I might get a bottle if I'm lucky. I probably have to pay to get in. My face is on the flyer, and I still got to fight the security to get inside of the party, even though I'm performing. And then I'm spending my money inside. If you're spending my money on my outfit or whatever, for what? So am I known? Like, you know who the hell I am. But I feel like I've done the local community stuff or whatever, and it's like, it's time to get that money. And it's okay to get that money. I can now go back, and if you book me for an open mic, like people see before, you never catch me at no karaoke. You got to pay me. Now I'm like, I already know I'm getting paid this week, so I can lend my voice, so to speak, and do these small things. So when people are like, oh, she's just doing karaoke, I'm like, that's what you think, Bridget. I'm about to go get this money, and then I can come back, and it won't stress me so much to feel like, why am I not getting paid to be here when I know I'm supposed to be paid or whatever, because most artists are not charging. Like, and that's where the money is not being made. If you know that you could do a show and you can book 20 people that you don't have to pay or 20 people that you have to pay, who are you going to go for? You might pay for one of the, but you're going to get the rest of them to just reshare the flyer and do the promo for you.
Is there an overcharge limit? Say someone has a price in mind and it's like, Bridget, you're charging too much. Is there a cap? Is that based on experience? Is that based on years in the game? Like, do you feel that, or is it just, you know what, that's that person's worth? It's either you pay that person or not.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, for me personally, like, I know my worth, but I also understand what people's budgets are. So what I would charge for a festival wouldn't be the same thing that I would charge for, like, a little birthday party or some small little event that's holding like 100 people. But if it's something that I know you're getting funding from Factor and the City of Toronto and TD Bank and all that, yeah, I want my money. The hell? But, like, if you're, like, say, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I know, like for example, I do shows as an artist. A lot of times when I'm doing it, it's just because I know there's not going for us. So I'm not necessarily going to pay you. I'll go to people that I know. Are you dropping a single? You need a place where you can, like, advertise your music. You can come sell some merch. What I try to do is, like, I can get you, like, maybe like an interview. I got some connects. Maybe I'll get you like a photo shoot. I try to at least compensate people for their time.
Yeah.
If nothing else. So I feel like if more people at least did that, as opposed to it's like sometimes you'll be booked for stuff and, like, local dance hall parties and somebody's scheduled to perform, and how many times do you see them and they don't end up performing? And it's just like the DJ don't want to come off because the party is nice and whatever. And it's like, I don't care if one person is there to see Alicia Cinnamon. They came here to see me, and this looks bad on me as an artist, but you're using, I don't reshare the flyer and stuff. Now I look stupid. So I just feel like a lot of us, we're taking whatever scrapings we can get because we feel like it. And like you said, most people are not even registered with SoCan, and that includes a lot of these events. So you go and do 20 events for the summertime, and not one of them is registered for SoCan. Even if it's free, if it's registered. I remember back in the day, it took me a while, but all the little $6 events that I was doing or whatever, and it's like when I get my little check every 3 months, I was like, hey, $40.
That's not bad. At least
where'd it come from? You know what I mean? Like,
Gas
shoot.
money, yes.
But welcome home, top 5. I guess to sum it up.
Stay out.
Yeah,
Any
man.
last thoughts on him?
He needs music. I want to hear a first day out tune.
How long was he in there?
3 years.
3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You would have
Dang.
thought it would be longer, but
It didn't. I thought it was like recent.
Shorter.
I guess maybe I
It
just
felt
started seeing
it
about
kind
it
of
more.
felt shorter. It
So
felt
he was in
longer
there
only
during the
because I was
pandemic?
talking to him a lot during the whole time, but it just seemed shorter in the sense where, he didn't. It
He
wasn't
was in
that
there during
long.
the pandemic?
I want to say yes.
14, 13, 12.
Before. Like, I want to say like 2021. Like a little bit
It was
after.
after, it was
After.
after the fact.
Yeah. The pandemic was like, he was on the run during the pandemic, I think.
What's so funny?
He's
What's so
just
funny?
very entertaining.
He's
He's entertaining.
He's funny, man.
entertaining.
He
He's
really
funny.
is.
But his goal is always to turn up Toronto. That's I think that's his primary objective, is to turn up
In a
Toronto.
good or a bad way?
Whichever way he can.
Someone J1 said any publicity is good publicity,
Can be.
but not every dollar is good dollars.
I
According
just
to
want
Mace.
these rappers to make it to at least 30 before you start doing all of that. It's like there's so much haters, and it's not like people that you expect. It's like there's always that clout chaser. Like, yeah, I'm the guy that took out top 5. Like, there's that. So I just want some of these people to like kind of just like take a little bit more appreciation. Like, you're out. Like Cartel, again, going back to that, seeing him coming out and trying to do something positive. Like, he could have came out and started doing all that gunman stuff. So it's like, hopefully,
World boss.
You heard
World boss.
you heard
The
they asked him
comments.
about thing?
What?
About Popcorn coming to the event?
So I don't know about that, sure, but me know that him
which
pass the
one? Freedom
class.
Street?
He never
He
teeth.
never teeth. I was dying.
what show is this? The Freedom Street?
Yeah, the one that
In
he's
Jamaica?
doing. Yeah.
I
in
know
December.
Spice is on it. They said,
Yeah, Spice is on
Spice
it.
is for sure.
Yeah,
They said that 100%.
100% Spice.
Yeah.
The only artist confirmed.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's Popcorn coming. I don't know about that still, but me know him pass the class. Him never thief. Or he never cheat.
He never cheat. Yeah, that's what he said. He never cheat.
Which is it's
Yeah.
that's real. Like Popcorn never stole
Who
the
else
style.
would you want to see on that show?
On the Cartel show,
Yeah,
I want to
You can't ask
see.
me. I don't like dancehall.
at all.
I want to see Tommy.
I
I
should
want to
say
see
at
Tommy
all,
Lee.
but like
Is he out?
after
Yeah. Tommy Lee's bought before him.
after Vibes, it kind of died for me. I didn't really.
Listen, I want to see the old Gaza. I want to see Lisa Hype. I want to see
Yeah.
Gaza Slim.
Yeah.
I want to see Gaza Kim and Black Rhino. I want to see them people, but I know they're not going. But
Yeah, I'm
Why?
trying to figure out like who.
Why aren't they going?
Energy
have
wise,
beef.
and to be able to
Super beef.
sustain a crowd that big, it would have to be like Movado. Like, it would be a lot of his enemies, really.
that would be
Yeah.
that would actually really
That
good,
would be-
good,
yeah.
good idea.
I think it was Movado he asked if he could come, not Popcorn.
No, it was Poppy.
It was Popcorn. Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was Popcorn.
Poppy.
Yeah.
Popcorn would be a good.
But
addition.
Popcorn has beef with Vibes too.
So when he got charged, Popcorn distanced himself.
Oh.
So I don't know if he's holding grudge for that, but you know
I feel
how
like
it goes.
Popcorn distanced himself ever since he got signed. Like, I feel like he did what a lot of dancehall artists don't do. He tried to take the clean route, and I don't wrong him for that. I hope nobody else does.
I think people do. You know he was out here. He was out here when Top 5 came out. He's taking pictures with him.
Yeah,
him top-
I just
him top
find him
five.
like he's so like down to earth, and like knowing where a lot of these guys like when I met, like, what was it, Reagan King? I always pronounced his name wrong. Like, the last picture I have is with him is before he got shot, maybe like a month or two before that,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like 23 years old and like the sweetest gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see them in certain stuff, like, obviously, you know, we all have whatever different sides to us and whatnot, but it's just like I'm proud of seeing people where it could have went like. A lot of them are like getting shot or paralyzed or whatever, and it's like Popcorn's one of the few that kind of took, like, he's like a pop star dancehall artist. Like, very few reach that.
Yes, he is, but I think that route though softened up his music though, because he's not as big as he was before he got signed, and that's a
That's
detriment
true.
to
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single artist
yeah.
that does get signed or
Absolutely.
get looked at. The music gets softer. You know
Well,
what I'm
not
saying?
even just that, but it's also like dancehall is different than the music.
Yes.
They haven't figured that out yet. Like, you can't jump on rhythms when you want to and freestyles and all that. You're very limited, and that's what you need. Like, as a dancehall artist, you got to put out like a song like every other week.
Yeah, because I
So-
swear even the dancehall rhythm portion of dancehall
Yeah.
music had died at one point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until
Yeah. Producers
my
don't
youth-
even make rhythms really anymore.
exactly until Russian redid Go-Go.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
once that
yeah.
happened, then everybody started
yeah.
to go back to rhythms.
Yeah.
Because everything is a circle at the end. A
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? Everything comes back around. So, I mean, shout out to Jamaica,
I even
man.
have some down in the go-go rhythm. Personally, I think mine's is the best, but you know.
You do?
Yeah.
Let me hear. Let me hear a freestyle right now.
It's not a freestyle type of fight. It's like it's dedicated to DJs actually.
You don't remember the lyrics?
No, I do, but it's like it doesn't sound the same without it. It's like,
You're not an
I'm gonna
artist.
run the
then.
beat.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so I have to run the
Exactly.
beat.
Yeah,
Okay,
you just
run
want me
the
to just-
beat.
It's not a
Don't go
gospel
into the
song.
bars and read it. I hope you weren't gonna go in and read.
No, I was
the
gonna pull it up on YouTube.
Oh no! I want to hear I want to hear raw dog, straight raw dog.
That's why you have so many kids. You want to hear things.
I
raw.
have only 4. Okay,
This guy said that only 4.
only 4. I'm good with that. Let's get
So you're
it.
not trying to talk canon?
Is this it? No, it wasn't. It's not this one. It's
It's the Dusty Money.
Dirty Money. Yeah, and I'm not in the Jamaican culture.
What are
you
you?
know?
Oh, you're Trini.
Listen, I'm actually a dancehall DJ, but I stopped.
Wagwan Rashan. It's your girl Alicia Cinnamon, aka Toronto's favorite spice. And right about now, this song goes out to all the DJs who know how to get the party lit.
Like Snoopy. And
Let's
Vegas.
go. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. Go DJ. Go DJ. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. So me have a gram on the body, make me put it on the left.
Oh, no.
Twist and turn, boy, me I make you sweat.
Okay.
Make your body move until you lose your breath. Wine like a go-go, me I make you fret. Cause I like the way you move, the sexy things you do. It makes me want to come and get to know you. Hey DJ, you Mr. DJ, put me on the replay. Turn my music up.
Shout out to
Say
Rihanna.
what? Hey DJ, you Mr. DJ, put me on the replay. Turn the music up.
Turn the music up. Turn the music up. Let's go.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low.
Go.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. Go DJ. Go DJ. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ. You ready? So me say, ooh, your body, girl, it makes the fella say. The way you want it, girl, it makes the fella stay. Who's that girl walking up in the club? Fellas passing by and they show me some love. Canadian girl up in this place and they wanna get to know me. Top girl, me in a fight over man. A money me a pre, hey DJ want one. Spin pon the cocky like a rotation. Hey DJ, pay attention. DJ, you missed the DJ. Put me pon the replay. Turn the music up. Say what? Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low. Go DJ.
And that right there.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, mix me down low.
Man Dem exclusive.
Yeah.
Shut the bomb.
That was fire.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was
fun,
dope.
right?
That was
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
Before we get out of here, we want because you're speaking on the dancehall community, and we
Yeah.
had a conversation about the dancehall community, well, behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. We feel like they don't get the love that they do. There's a lot of dancehall artists out here in the city. I feel like the dancehall parties go on better than like some of the hip hop parties.
Absolutely.
The concerts they get on with little to no issues.
No,
I'm just talking
no.
compared to the hip hop parties.
No.
The hip hop parties, I don't know, fam. These niggas can't perform. Their performances don't even happen. At least you guys can get the reggae artists
Fair
them
enough.
on
Yeah.
stage.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So why isn't there more in it? And then a second question to it, a follow-up question. Why isn't it like, especially for the women, why don't they talk up for all the fuckery that, I guess we can talk about that after, but yeah, why don't they just talk up more about the fuckery that's going on behind the scenes? But let's talk
So
about
the
the music
first
wise
part
first. Yes.
was you said, why don't you feel like there's more love for the dancehall scene?
Yes, like why isn't it more prominent? Like I just feel like with just the whole community, like there's a lot of Jamaicans, like
Yeah.
Toronto is Jamaica-fied. Like
Well,
you know
if
what I'm
you
saying?
look at like on a global scale, like there's barely any black people in Canada as is. So as much as it seems like there's a lot because we're in it on a global scale or even like just on the outside, it's like we're like a fraction of. So you go to one dancehall party, you kind of been to them all. If you go to like, you know what I mean? Like same DJs, same people. So it's a fraternity. They actually call it a dancehall fraternity. So once you're in it, it's like most of the people, it's the same people for like the past 10, 15, 20 years. They all went to high school together, or a lot of them grew up in Jamaica. If you're, part of the Clarendon Massive, you come down here, you link with the Clarendon people of your country, whatever the case may be. So I feel like a lot of the time, it's hard to grow when you're planted in the same environment. It's the same soil, it's the same water, it's the same recipe over and over again.
But
Yeah.
but I think that the Toronto dancehall scene, as an artist, you can do a show in Toronto, then go do a show in Burlington,
Yes.
then Kitchener,
Yes.
then London, all the way to fucking
Montreal.
Go to Alberta.
Montreal, Alberta is friggin' hot for
It is.
dancehall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's a 1-2 Vancouver things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, you can still get a little lit as an artist going through that
Absolutely.
pathway, though. Like even performing for 10 minutes each of those spots.
Absolutely, but again, most of them are not paying. Even if, like, let's say they're paying you, they might pay you, but they're not going to fly you in. So you have to figure out, I will book you for the party in Edmonton, but you got to pay your $700 flight to get there. So how many people are willing to do that? A lot of people are not in a position. Like, doing the supply work, I can schedule myself whenever I want to work, and if I don't want to work, if I'm broke, I'm broke. That's on my own accord. A lot of people have 9 to 5s, so they can't necessarily take that time off to say, okay, you know, I'm going to do what most artists should do, is like a cross-country tour. You should be able to, like, you know, go to Brampton, do something at Calypso Hut, and go do something at Kensington Market, and this and that, whatever. And if you honestly, and this is what I try to tell people, because a lot of people are like, oh, you can't make money in music. How much are you making at your 9 to 5? Unless you have like a career and you're making like a really good job, a really good killing with your salary or whatever. Most people, if you put that time into booking, like maybe I have a thing where I'll try to do like 4 shows a month, 2 paid and 2 free. Most of those the 2 shows that are paid usually balance out to what somebody's getting on a paycheck. So you're working like all that extra, and that's within like what, 4 hours of work. And imagine if you consistently did that, where you said, okay, I'm going to take a whole month off and I'm just going to drive around and go to these little bars, humble myself a little bit, and go to these little places and say, okay, I can fill up 50 people in here. Because, you know, most of the hip hop shows, sell 50 tickets. Well, if I can sell 50 tickets for you, why don't I do my own show?
Exactly.
And keep that money to myself. A lot of people don't think that. They're like, oh, let me just go get Freddie Fame and he'll put me on.
Freddie, thank you for saying it. I didn't have to.
And if you need it, like, you know, and for me, I'm like, a lot of people, it really just like, when you're an artist, the downfall in Toronto is you have to be your own publicist, marketing strategist, A&R, PR, whatever the case may be. You got to be it all. So a lot of people just have the talent, so they don't know necessarily how to say
the business works.
Right.
They don't know how the business
because
works.
literally when I say, like, when I pick up myself and I go to Atlanta, people are like, how'd you get here? I'm like, with a passport? Like, they look at the flabbergasted, and people are so jealous. And I'm like, if you really wanted to do it, you could. But, like, I mean, depending on people's situation, but it's like, I sacrificed this to do it. But, like, I literally did the same shit. I went to Atlanta. I researched a lot of little Caribbean restaurants online, and I told them, listen, can I come through and book your place and do a show? And they're like, yeah, okay. And then when I actually showed up, to like, you really came from Canada? And I was like, yeah. And the love was just there. Like, I go back to the same places. I've been going back since 2016. My EP dropped 2017. I started going 2016. Like, there's festivals that I do on a yearly basis, all of that stuff. And those little things, what we take for granted in Toronto is when you're out there, those festivals, you got to pay to be on those.
Facts.
Here, you're getting paid, even if it's $50 or something. So, like, be appreciative and take advantage of factor that goes back to the parties and stuff. They're expensive to do these. Like, the banquet halls cost money. Like, that's why people you can only buy bottles and all that stuff. And, like, who really wants to constantly be buying bottles when you can just, you know, you want to buy a beer or something. You don't necessarily want to drink a whole $200 bottle of Hennessy. So a lot of these things are being funded out of our own pockets, and people don't know where to go or don't know what it is to do, or they're too prideful. And so nobody really knows what's going on. And again, there's a lot of blackballing that's in the dancehall scene. A lot. You think hip hop is bad? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Why do you think I'm running back to y'all? Like,
You're running back to hip hop?
running back. I drop some bars, and I'm joking, but it's like, I'm an R&B singer at heart. So it's like, I didn't come in here. Remember when we worked on thing, and you're like, yo, this is old, this is 90s music. And I'm like, it'll come back. It'll come back. That's always been like me doing like the 90s. I could do the pop and the neo soul and all that stuff, but I'm like, I'm like my Mary J. Blige type of vibe or whatever. But when I realized, like, if I don't do this pop music, the only other alternative in Toronto is reggae. And it sucks because I personally sometimes feel like I'm appropriating because I'm not Jamaican. So I feel and sometimes when I speak on stuff, I feel like people are probably like, but we're not together. Like, and it's like, this foreign pick-me or whatever. And it's like, I feel a ways, but it's like, I'm in it. And I'm getting attacked by you people. So, like, I'm going to speak on it because somebody has to advocate. But, like, yeah, so, I mean, shout out to the reggae scene. And I hope you guys do better with this Junos that you guys get back. But we got a lot of internal work that I just don't feel like we should be fixated on any kind of awards until the artists are actually making music that I feel is good enough for these awards.
Are you just not tapped into the I guess the Canadian dancehall scene to make you speak so boldly as to why there is no or like lack thereof?
No,
I don't
it's
think
like
you might not be tapped into
I'm
much.
definitely tapped in terms of what they are making the song of the year. And I'm not trying to shit on nobody, but if it was the song of the year, every time you turn on the radio, you should hear it. Like Not Like Us is probably going to win song of the year. We no matter, you can't escape that song.
They took out the International Music Award for that.
But she's just talking about in
But yeah,
general.
I get it. I get
Like anything, any category that
Yeah.
it's in, if that's the song of the year in that genre or whatever it is, you should hear it everywhere. So if I'm in it. I don't hear people's music like that unless I maybe turn on G. But as soon as you leave the frequency of Toronto, you're not hearing none of this in Kitchener, or Barrie, or Buffalo. None of that stuff.
CBC Radio.
There you go. And there's just too much behind the scene politics. And I'm probably gonna get myself in trouble. I don't give a shit. Everybody knows this shit. But it's too much gatekeepers. There's too much behind the scenes. There's too many people who. I feel like you got people like the Cardinals and the Chocolaires and the Julies, and they didn't reach where they feel like they're supposed to be. So it's really hard for that generation to really give back to us because a lot of them feel like they're supposed to be the Drakes.
And they're still working to try and get there.
Absolutely. And they have laid the foundation. I'm out here like, yo, give me my credit. They've done even more, I would say, especially in their era, than I have, and people don't know that. So I can't, as much as I can be like, yeah, I can't, you guys are haters or whatever, I also understand, like, we're humans. And they would be lying if they said that they didn't want that Drake respect or act, because they, broke down those doors so Drake could be in that position. Or any of us, Julie Black. Like, I still look up to her. But a lot of them look at us, the next generation, as kind of like a threat. Like, if I let them in, they're going to surpass me.
That's a stupid thought to think.
That's how it
what
is.
They
But that's
need
Toronto,
to do is
unfortunately,
because
people,
create.
the next generation does not say, yo, like when I was doing my Northern Queens movement, I see all these girls now dick riding Miss Me. None of them even knew who she was until I literally had workshops on her. So sometimes I feel some type of ways because I be getting outcast by the people that I'm like, yo, I'm one of the few people that actually knows your history and like grew up listening to your music and genuinely respecting you as an artist, not just as I'm an artist now and I want to use you to get my foot in the door. A lot of these people can't list none of their music, but they just know you're Cardinal or you're Chocolaire. And so I feel like our veterans have to kind of like take a stance and be like, you know what? I might not be known whatever, but I'm a pioneer, and just own that within here and forget about the global recognition.
But that's what I'm saying though. Those guys like Julie, Cardi, Shocks, like what's his name? Maestro's already done it. He's in Princess Edward's Island on radio. These guys need to be in that position, and Cardinal too, he's in a sort of a position, but we need to see y'all faces more. Like, we need to see you guys on TV more. We need more workshops. We need to see y'all. You guys need to do more for the generation that you can't do for. You got to skip that one.
Right.
And go back to the youth and implement your successes, your failures. You know what I'm saying? Your struggles, even to this day now, what you guys are trying to achieve as musicians still, as budding actresses like Julie. Like, we need to hear your story because these stories are not heard. And that's
Julie was one of the only few that I could say, like, I would turn on like TVO Kids or some shit, and she would be there. She could have left. Julie, I've watched Julie live. She's on the level of Beyonce in terms of performance. She could have left, but she chose to represent Toronto. And that's where I felt like, okay, I want to do the same thing. But then I also realized, like, there comes a bitterness. Because after a while, when you realize how much time you've wasted, and it's like, fuck, these people don't even respect, like, because you do all of this hoping that you're going to get at least respect from it. And then when you realize, like, I remember one time I was at Scarborough Town Center and I seen Julie, and I was like, oh my God, Julie. My friend's like, why are you screaming for her? I'm like, if this was Beyonce, we'd go nuts. You don't do that. Like, so even when I'm stopped, like, was it earlier today when I was messaging you and I was gonna go get a spliff and like my hair was not combed, I looked like a whole bucket. And this guy's like, hey, Cinnamon. I was like, shit. Because in my mind, I'm like, most of these people, I don't realize who actually even recognize me or knows who I am, because we don't have people like, oh my God, it's Cinnamon or whatever. So when you get that, you're like, yeah, I really got to start acting like an artist. Like, we don't see, there's no paparazzis. We never had nobody popping out bushes, taking pictures and none of that stuff. So we don't really, I feel like some of us don't even know how to act like art. Right.
Yeah, how to act like stars.
Right. And then when you meet somebody who does, because I get people all the time, like, why are you so confident? It's like, it's not confidence, but I'm in the public eye. I have to carry myself. I can't be like gloomy all the time. Like, yeah, I can vent or whatever, but like, I got to have a a level of confidence. Otherwise, people will eat you alive.
I do got a question for you. If you had to, if you're like on a boat and someone had to sing to save your life, are you picking Deborah Cox or are you picking Julie Black?
Deborah Cox is my cousin.
Family aside, no blood mixed, nothing.
that's the
Let's
answer.
do skillful.
Ask somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. You
I
got
can't.
Kid Davis. You gotta pick somebody. No, it's
I would
Melanie
never.
Duran or Julie Black?
Melanie.
There's a reason why.
Ah, see?
Melanie.
But there's a reason why.
Because
it's asked
Melanie's
for the
always
truth.
nice to me. Melanie's like, shout out Mel.
Shout out to
That-
Durant.
Now it's a personal
Right?
thing, but
Shout
like
out the
But
Durants.
well, I'm gonna save some. It has to be personal if I'm gonna be picking.
on a talent scale though.
On a
like-
talent scale, Deborah
Obviously-
Cox out of everybody. Me.
Okay,
Whitney,
so
everybody.
going back to what you said about Julie deciding
Yeah.
to root for Toronto, was that a problem then? Because Deborah Cox didn't. I believe Deborah Cox went to the stage. She got
Absolutely.
her just due. She
Yeah.
got a hit, and
Because I remember growing up, and like people would say to me, like, you know, if you get it, get out, because of the rumors that were circulating about Deborah and the stuff that they were, same stuff that I hear about myself, where I'm like, I get why she left. A lot of times you want to leave before people can latch onto you. I'm like, I hear stuff, I'm like, why now? Somebody wants to be like, oh, I went to high school with that person. Like, why now? So I get why some people leave, because if you look at where Deborah is and you look at where Julie is, and I'm sure both of them are happy and whatever, but as an artist, you don't hear people comparing Julie Black to Whitney Houston.
no, not at all.
So
Not at all.
you know
No
what I
knock
mean?
to you, sister. Not at all.
No, and
But-
she, like I said, I will compare her to a Beyonce, especially in terms of performance, on point. But in terms of like the people that she was around, the way that they marketed Deborah, like right now she's literally doing a Whitney Houston Broadway musical or whatever.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's, you know, she's making her money. So I get like that's at some point in time, like just Deborah and Tamia did it earlier. But I get wanting to rep where you come from. But then when you wake up, like I look and I'm like, I've been in this for like 10 years now, officially. And it's like, what do you have to accomplish? So then that's where it goes into the awards and stuff. Me, when I want to start, I don't want to get awards right in the beginning of my career, because then what is there to look forward to? I remember when Mariah Carey won the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I was like, I don't know, 7, 8 or some shit. And as a kid, I remember saying to my mom, like, what is she going to do next? Because, like, they made this big thing. And, like, my mom looking at me, what the fuck? Like, she's going to win more. After that, Mariah Carey ended up having, like, nervous breakdown, this, that, whatever, because, like, you reached your
plateaued.
before your frontal lobe was even properly developed. So,
That's a fucking good point, though. Still.
And to the last question, we've seen it. You know, you spoke about it on, I believe it was on a live. She said she wasn't on, I can't remember. But yeah, you know, you were on the #1 live. You spoke about it. Just the reggae community or dancehall community, just in Toronto.
Yeah.
We've seen like guys being in the closet, which they're in the hip hop community too.
Yeah.
We've seen like the AIDS thing.
Yep.
We've seen girls allegedly being, well, not allegedly, but girls saying that they're being raped.
Yep.
Just all these crazy stories that about it. How come we don't see, like, again, somebody standing up, some of the women standing up for like some of these people, especially the girls?
Yeah.
I mean, if the guys want to be behind the closet,
Yeah.
hey, that's up to you. The guys that are having AIDS and then going to the party and spreading it, that's fucked
I
up.
hear that
Because
too,
yeah,
right?
because
I hear
then
that.
some of those
Yeah.
girls are gonna come to us. We
Yeah.
don't want that. Keep
Yeah.
that over there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like just those things. And I've heard about it from when I was in church. I used to hear about those stories.
Yeah.
So the fact that like they're coming out now,
Yeah.
what's the problem? Is it the fraternity thing that you were speaking
It
about,
is,
where everybody is just friend up buddies, so we're not gonna
I
talk
feel like
and-
with that situation, they chose to throw the women under the bus instead of the person who was spreading it. In dancehall, whether any female, when you look at Layla Ike, Jada Kingdom, Tanya Stevens, any female in the reggae scene that spoke up about being sexually assaulted was ostracized. Look how they handled Jacquior. Like, you had all these DJs like, free Jacquior, and he made all kind of money off dub plates, and then he came around and bun out all the DJs same way. So I feel like just within, like, going back to the Jamaican community, it is something that it happens a lot in terms of, like, sticking up for the
abuser.
the abusers, the perpetrators, and especially if they're men or if they're men in a position of power. You have a lot of women that are pick-me's. A lot of the issue comes down to the women. There's a lot of women that support men. Like, I have in my situation as somebody who was, a survivor, I've had more support from men than women that were like, yo, my sister or this or that, but or people like straight up like certain people that I always like, shout out Sample King, like certain people that never wavered even if they heard certain things because they're like, okay, I've known her for so long. What would be the benefit of her going and jacking up her career? Like people, like when people speak up about stuff, a lot of people are like, oh, they're just doing it for clout. But you have to really look at it. It's like, what does a person get? Like, even look at like situations with Cassie and whatever. It's like, aside from the money, which is, not a guarantee, what do you really get from speaking up out of those things? Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's dark. So the women now, like I said, I've been on my own since I was like 16. So I'm pretty much all I know within myself. So I've always had to defend myself. So for me to do that is normal for me. Most females are not like me. Mm-hmm. Like, even when I'm around other women, I realize, like, you guys are, like, we're different, bro. Like, what? And so then it becomes, like, if you're speaking and you have women, because there are women that, are complacent with it. So who's a victim versus who's complacent? Sorry. And that's where it gets sticky, because you do have some women that are they'll know a person is abusive or whatever, but as long as they're benefiting from it, they're cool with it. They'll be laughing at the next girl until she becomes that girl. And then all of a sudden now she wants sympathy, but you can't get it because you've been laughing, so you have to keep your mouth shut. So I feel like with these abusers in our community, they're not new. Like, the people that I'm calling on, people are like, yeah, I'm on a long time, and all that. Like, these are like people that have been recycled through the community, so they're used to protecting them. And then when you have somebody who's going against the fraternity, you're going against the grain. It's like, now it's bringing awareness. Like, when I spoke about AIDS, all of a sudden it became, oh, Alicia Cinnamon has AIDS. I posted my AIDS test, called out everybody else. I don't see nobody, other than Snoopy, I didn't see nobody else that went and took the time, even for your damn self.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's free. We're not in America. It's free. And the amount of, like, when I was there and the conversation that I had with the nurses and the amount of education that I personally learned, that I wanted to bring back to the Black community, and then it got flipped into this he said, she said, and all kind of other stuff. And I'm like, this was a really, going back to, why things are the way that they are in our community. We dropped the ball. Like, we have opportunities. Like, this is a beautiful conversation. I appreciate you guys for having me. Sorry. We have opportunities to speak on shit, and we'd rather talk about dumbness and then promote parties in between that. Like, I was watching people that were on the live talking about AIDS, but then make sure you come to this party. And like, how the frick do you bring that up in the same sentence?
But this is, I feel you, because again, it's going back, like, now that you're speaking about it with the platform and how you're so against academics' platform and I'm so against live.
Yeah.
I feel like when you get Instagram live, you have to vet the people that are in there, because if you don't, it becomes just a shit show. It's a poppy show in there where it's like, they don't care for the actual conversation. They care about the fuckery.
It depends
on
who you're following. Because, like, for me, when I go live, like, I'm not used to people attacking me. So it's like, I'm used to, why are you following me if you don't like me? Like, that's my mentality. So when I see people, they're not just attacking the guest, they're also attacking the host. And it's like, what the fuck is this shit? So I do, with the live, it is kind of dangerous because anybody can jump in it from their burner pages and all this stuff or whatever. And, like, I guess, like, it really just, like, that goes back to demographics and niche market. I expect that from people under the age of like 30 and 25 even. They're used to going back to the top fives and the excitement. That's their bracket. But as big people, there should never be, if we're having a conversation as big people and we're talking about AIDS, there should be no kiki-keying. There should be no, like, it should never, like, it should really be, there's a time and a place for everything. So I just feel like sometimes it's like, when you have things, it's like, if you also have to know your audience as well too. I remember that specific live, I was like, can you turn off the comments? Because I can't focus. And I'm like, I'll cuss you back, as we've seen. So, but I've never done that before because there was no reason. But it's like, don't get it twisted. Like, I'm still from the hood. So, like, yeah, like, I'm going to get drawn out when it comes to certain things. But at the same speed, it was like, for me, at the end of that, when girls are like, yo, we love that shit. And people wanted so much more of that for me, but that shit is taxing.
It is.
It's so draining.
Yeah.
Like, and it only works for so long, and then people expect that all the time, and it's like, listen, man, I got songs to sing. Like, I got things to do. So I feel like if there was more of this, where people felt like they would be held accountable for their bullshit, people would think twice about doing stuff because everybody can, like, when that individual mud woman went live about me and said I had AIDS, she wasn't expecting me to counteract that shit because they're not used to that. So it was like, we're just going to put it out there. She's got AIDS and that's going to be it. And it's like, oh, hell no. That's permanent, bro. Give me chlamydia or something. Like, something I can get rid of. So I was like, okay, I got to fight this shit, bro. What the hell? Like, so when my mom is calling me, I was like, Mom? Like, do you guys realize what you're doing? Like, you're playing with people's friggin' livelihoods. So that, for me, is where the respect is lost. It's like, there's a fine line between entertainment and then just fucking with people's lives.
Because, I mean, if say one of your annual shows caught wind of that, and it's just like, oh, so that's what you're going with? Sorry, we can't have you on that. You'll stop your bag.
Exactly.
It's dangerous.
Like, I got...
Sorry, no, you can.
Like, I got dudes, I got karaoke, this friggin' DJ. He's always trying to holler at me. Now, all of a sudden, it's like he's trying to, oh, you have AIDS. I'm like, nigga, you just trying to, like, sniff my crotch, like, last week. But I seen him in the live talking shit. So, I'm like, when I see certain people in real life now, it's like, the energy is trying to switch up. It's like, if I have it, you gave it to me. Because, like, you've never even been in my crotch to know what's going on. But that most people don't have enough sense, and they're just going to run with stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like, even, like, because the reason why I was on that platform was to clear my name. Didn't realize they were related, but...
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
No,
I
she
never
didn't
knew
know.
who that person was until I got on the platform. Somebody referred me to them.
Oh,
I never knew
they
what
set you
that
up
was.
Still. They set you up.
No,
for
they
failing.
apologized. They're like, I just told you to check out. I didn't know you were going to be on it. I was like... So I was like, yo, like, I thought, hey, great, informative. We're going to talk about whatever. I can clear my name. No. But at the same speed, you know, you learn, you live and you learn. You get, you fuck, I learned who was who in the city because a lot of these people, I had no idea who any of these people were. And it just showed me, like, imagine, because that shit went viral in the UK. Like, my family's from England, so that's why my mom got in touch. And it's like, imagine if that was my music or, like, something that I've done in the community that was positive. Why does it take that moment? Because now when people are like, oh, you're the girl from the podcast. I'm like, yeah, you know, I make music too, but yeah. They're like, why did it take that moment for it? And now I'm known, like, people are like, I can see people waiting for me to, like, pop off every chance they get. And it's like, I'm actually a pretty calm person. Like, I smoke a lot of weed. It takes me a lot to get to that point. But at the same speed, I feel like I knew myself leading up to that, I was asking several podcasts, Two Line Music Hut, I was asking several podcasts if they can interview me straight up. And nobody wanted to tell the story because people were too familiar and close with it. So if I had a space, and I'm going to just say it. I know you guys look shocked, but I'm going to say it. This right now, I'm not out here saying like, oh, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. I just wanted to tell my story from my side, clear my name, and that was it. And people were like, we're not going to put it out there because the narrative, if I put you on here and say that you didn't have X, Y, and Z, we're going to go against the dance hall fraternity. And I feel like we need more spaces that allow artists to actually speak up and do shit. So shout out to you guys. They don't do that in the dance. Look at your face. You look frightened. The blood died.
Yeah,
No, I'm not frightened.
because he's afraid to say it. He's afraid to say it. I'm gonna say it. Muscle, come on, you gotta do better than that.
Straight.
You gotta do better than
he
that.
does.
Muscle, no.
You know,
Muscle, you gotta do better.
Muscle used
next
to
time-
Muscle sold our mixtape. That was at friggin'
Yes.
the CD
Muscle
hut.
next time.
Like I don't
bring
like
the
that.
people there
Straight up.
and let me in Vegas ask the question.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight
That's
up.
all you gotta do.
I was just shocked to hear Two Line.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Because I'm
I
like,
thought you was gonna say steady mobbing in them waist suits.
nah, like real platforms, people that knew me before I was Alicia Cinnamon. So all of that doesn't matter. It's like the little girl that you saw singing songs, making cassettes and shit like that. Like, remember her. Why would I now? I never had a bad name until certain things. Why would I go and fuck up my own career?
That's fact.
That's, you know, so I was like, yo, people that really, really knew me, and it's like, okay, when I get to a place, like, I'm not like I said to you guys, I'm not holding back. There's no I hate you or this or that, but it's like, when people are like, why aren't you on the radio or why aren't this or why aren't that? People really need to understand what's going on so that they'll have a little bit more leeway for some of us. Because it's like, it's not about talent or you're washed up or you're this or you're that. If I don't like you, that's it. That's all it takes. Because Toronto is so small. And it's like, a lot of people don't like people off of hearsay or what somebody else is beefing. It's like, sometimes you need to ask your brethren, like, what you really do to that person for it to get that far? Because a lot of times, you know, as they say, empty barrels make the most noise. So it's like, look at the person that's speaking the loudest versus the person that's just like, I would hear it. Like, I'm like, I'm not even in the country that I'd hear, like, my name get brought up and stuff. And it's like, I'm the scapegoat right now. And that goes back to the Junos where I was like, Juno season, which is right now, everybody turns into demons. And it's like, they'll start sabotaging people and, like, gossiping and all this, it gets really dark. And I'm like, if we can just get rid of that pressure and just make music, we wouldn't feel like, oh, let me go on Vegas's page and see what he's doing and keep reporting his page so that he loses his Instagram, like stupid shit. It's like we would just be able to just make music. Like I genuinely get anxiety when Juno season comes around because I know somebody's gonna come for me.
I don't know why you said that, because every season when my birthday comes around, it's like my page goes down. So it's like you just triggered me because my Instagram page
Me
is
too,
down. I just have
absolutely.
my third Instagram page
Straight
gone,
up.
so like,
I lost my main one, and it's hard as fuck for me to get it back up because I block people real quick. So like I'm never reaching 10K.
I'm kind of over it right now. I'm kind of done with Instagram.
That
I'm like
too.
I'm just like, but it is what it
Absolutely.
is. But going back to the perception part of what you were saying with the whole live thing and defending yourself, it's the same shit I went through.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing if you call me like a pimp or whatever, you know. But don't be saying I'm pimping out kids and shit because the girl that convicted me was 21. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't do no sexual stuff to her. So like when they try and paint a narrative against me, and it's the same thing. I thought like, hey, you know, they would hear my story, they would read up on it, and they'd be like, oh my God, this girl didn't have no evidence against the man, da. They would actually like, no, these motherfuckers weren't against.
The straight negative. He's on the list. That's it. He's on the list. He can't go to the playground.
Like, holy fuck! Like you guys didn't want to read up my situation.
Yo, Gutsy, meet me at the playground, bro. Stop fucking with me now.
And I can go to the playground all the time. Like I can go to the playground. That's what the fucked up part too, because it's like, yo, fam, you guys are painting a narrative that's so. I can go anywhere. I'm not bad. The only place I'm bad from is the States. Right. Like that's the literally only place. And don't get it twisted. Next year I'm there. It's up.
As long as it's been 2 years, you're good.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah,
Believe me, I'm there, and I'm laughing at everybody here in Canada. I'm be like,
exactly.
oh yeah. Oh, you guys want to make fun of me, but it's okay.
You. That's
the only thing. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, like that's what our show.
No, but see, that particular person, it's like he don't like anybody that's doing better than them. And I realize it's like he's interviewing them to tear people down, even people that I thought he was cool with. And I'm just like, what? This man is a maniac. And at the end of the day, it's like God don't sleep. He reap what he sow.
Some people
he's getting his ass whooped, and I was definitely behind a lot of that shit and contributing to it left, right, center.
Well,
I'm resharing you,
me and him had our back and forth, and I have nothing against. Like I've never had anything against him.
But
it was only when I'm lying. When he was saying a little bit of other stuff, I don't want to bring it up because but whatever. I just didn't like that. If you're gonna attack me, attack me.
Right.
Don't attack anybody around me.
Right.
But attack me.
Absolutely.
So when you attack people around me, that's
the same issue he had with
Sleepy
and the kid.
I'm like you. It's like I forget that I'm a podcaster.
Right.
I forget that I'm a blogger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah. But like at the end of the day, like we've been telling him, like you're gonna have to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I guess
I'm seeing him outside, which is really bold of him. I'm like,
he has to be outside at some point. You have to do stuff. You have to. You can't just be inside, and that's just for anybody. I mean,
I mean like outside. Like I seen him posing up with people. I'm like, oh, he's getting out there. Because initially he said he wants to do hosting, and it's like you have that potential, but you can't piss off the whole fucking city, bro. Like you can't. There's a bounty on your head everywhere you go. That's not. Nobody's gonna want to book you first of all, because nobody wants that liability. There's that. And then there's like, how is it comfortable to be looking over your shoulder? But the platform that individual had, because even the episode that we did, they were at 9,000. By the time we were done, they were at 14,000. It's like you have a platform to do shit.
Yeah.
Do some shit.
Do it.
Like a lot of these people, like I look at them, like they'll be interviewing the same people over and over again, or boring people. Like if it's the reggae community, it's like, no disrespect, but like a Barris or a Sanchez. Love them. But it's like, let's get.
We already heard their stories.
Right.
Where's the young
Thank
bloods?
you.
know
Like,
what I'm
let's
saying?
find
Where's
out what's really going on. It's the same story, just so we could say that we bumped heads with this legend or whatever. And it's like, like you said, a lot of these people don't even come to the podcast.
No.
What I would say to you guys is look to the people that are actually, like, if Top 5 doesn't want to come, that's on him. Check for who's checking for you. Because at some point, you know what I mean? Because at some point, you're going to get that call, like, where Top 5 is like, yo, Barrett, I want to get on the show.
Don't get it twisted. Fives are got, like,
no, I'm just saying an example. Like, because a lot of, like, people that are on a certain level, they don't really do the smaller ones, and that goes back to you saying, like, with the whole academic stuff. Like, to me, it's like I feel like I would gain more from this than me going on
to academics, and
because we probably just end up arguing.
Yeah,
like he would say one wrong thing, a little motherfucking chick, like I would go off on. No disrespect, I don't know you, homie, but like just me knowing certain things, and I'm like, okay, like with you, I'm like, I know there's a safe space. We don't always agree on a lot, but we always come to like a nice medium. Like we've never like spazzed on each other for no reason. So
but that goes that you just. I feel like we just respect each other.
Yeah.
We respect our space, and I respect you do music, and I respect where you took your career from, where we met, and we met before we even started music together. So I think it's just deeper than music with
True.
us.
Deeper than
Yeah.
rap.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
deeper than everything. But like, I just really, really, really like that you're continuing to just grow. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I like to talk to those kind of people because you inspire me. You know what I'm saying?
thank
The
you.
youth inspire me. He inspires me.
Facts.
You know
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying? It's like we need to have an outlet for everybody to be inspired, my
Yeah.
nigga. Like, and the old heads, I'll take it to the old heads. Like
Yeah.
the OGs, they need to tell their story.
Yeah.
Because we're fans of a lot of these
Yeah.
older artists, not the circle niggas,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
everybody that saw them niggas in.
Everybody but y'all.
that looked
No.
out.
I
that
want
looked at
Socrates
the-
to come back. We need a documentary on Socrates. He's like the sickest, in my opinion, that never ever. We don't know anything about that guy.
I feel like we're gonna get close to Socrates, and we might get him around next year at some point.
That would be lit.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm open for him
we
before,
have a
and then
little
he
plan.
disappeared.
But like all the OGs you want to talk to, and everybody has a story. Like we just
Yeah.
talked to Daniel the other day.
Who?
Daniel. He,
Oh, okay.
He's from Monolith.
Monolith.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dear hip hop.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it too. Like he has a great story
Yeah.
from then to now. So like we need to hear more of that. Even Dolo from Ghetto Concept we spoke to recently.
Okay.
Super dope story.
Oh, you spoke to
Super
Shock?
excited.
Socrates?
No, Shockler.
No.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
I
I'm
have.
trying to book him, but he never has time.
Right now, he's like in Nunavut.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
But he's
But he
coming,
will
he's
though.
coming. He will. He's
like yeah,
coming.
he's
spoke.
open to that. He's a cheerful guy. I'll
No,
give
he's
him that. He's
nice.
like the friendly rapper.
He's nice. He's nice. I'm sure he has a lot of stories to tell.
He does.
But
Yeah.
anything else? Anything in the news you want to?
No, I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That-
Is this
that
how long
really
you guys
gave me
normally go? I
munchies.
feel like I gotta take
We
you
go
guys
for
over.
like 2 hours, 3.
Okay.
Well,
How long has it been?
It's probably been an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
Maybe more,
about
two,
maybe
maybe
about
two.
2.
Maybe 2.
Maybe about 2.
This
Give
is
the
great.
people them your social medias, your Gmails, if people want to send you beats and all that stuff. Any way that they can get a hold of Miss Cinnamon.
Yeah. So
Favorite spice.
There you go. On Instagram, it's Alicia_Cinnamon_ promo page. On YouTube, Real Alicia Cinnamon. Pretty much if you just type in Alicia Cinnamon, I pop up everywhere, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. And if you'd like to get directly in touch, Alicia Cinnamon bookings at gmail.com.
Hey.
Oh, and you can, well, I don't know when you guys are going to air this, but this weekend I'll be at Christy Pitt's performing live for the World Food Cultural Festival. So check me out.
They're going to have jerk pork there?
Everything.
I'm there.
Yeah.
This weekend?
This Friday and Saturday.
That can work.
That could work.
I'm
Why?
there
What do you have
Saturday.
planned for Saturday?
Saturday I have a gig.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Is that what,
you.
Christy Pitt, 11 to 11? What time is
Christy
your gig?
Pitts.
My gig is in the
Daytime?
evening.
Oh, okay.
8 to 10.
Oh.
9, 10. Let's take 2 hours.
I know where
Just
Christy Pitts
DJing.
is.
Yeah.
Chrissy Pitts is a nice place.
Outdoor. Yeah, it's supposed to be like,
My daughter has
as long
some
as it's not going to rain.
That's our homie's little spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you after.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Man Dem show. We're off for this.
One, and I need to pee again.
Yeah, me too.
Holy
Now the liquor is liquoring.